So if you would need to come back, if you need to come back to the class today, you can go back and rewatch it. All right, so we're good on YouTube. Dope. All right. I see LaShawn says I'm super ready. What's the YouTube channel? It is my name. So Leela_Brown. Leela_Brown. And I'll do a screenshot in the class today. Randolph said Detroit's in the business. Whoop whoop. Welcome, welcome. All right, so if you can see my screen, can I get a 1 in the chat, please? It should say free masterclass. It should say free masterclass. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone now. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat. As we are going through everything, I will be looking at the chat occasionally, answering your questions. If I did not answer your question, please stay to the end because I will have a time where we will be answering questions. Cool, cool, cool. All right, I see the ones in the chat. So you're ready. So welcome everyone to my free masterclass. In this class, I'm going to share with you how to launch, grow, and lock in 4- and 5-figure medical courier contracts. I am your host, Leela Brown. I'm also known as Leela the Entrepreneur. It's because I do invest in multiple businesses. The medical courier is only one of many. I've made multiple 6 figures within the medical industry, and I want to share with you all how you can do the same. So, a couple of housekeeping rules. Again, I am Leela_Brown on all social medias from Pinterest to YouTube to TikTok to Facebook. Leela_Brown. Keep in mind there is a lot of scamming pages out there pretending to be like me, saying that they are me, using my content, and then they are DMing you. If you are encountered with one of those scamming pages, please make sure you report and block them. But make sure that you see on Instagram, I am blue checked. I'm working on my blue check on Facebook and TikTok. So don't get scammed out there. Also, I want everyone to understand that this requires consistency and commitment. This is not a get rich quick type of class or scheme or anything I'm going to share with you. It does require work. So I want to know in the chat how many people are going to be consistent. Are you interested or are you consistent? Because if you're going to enter any new thing, whether it's this business or anything else, you need to make sure that you're consistent. I ask that is because a lot of people will be in my DMs that are asking, oh, I'm interested. Let me know about this. And 9 times out of 10, the people who are interested, that is where they stay. The people who are committed and consistent and show up every single day, that is when the results will happen. Remember, no one knows that you have a medical courier business or you're starting one, you have a vehicle and you want to run routes. It is up to you to place yourself in front of as many people consistently every single day. That is how I was able to land my first contract the first 7 days. The next second week, I was able to land 2 or 3 more contracts. It required lots and lots of consistency. Um, Keisha said consistent and committed. Okay, that's what's up. Emmanuel says both. Everybody else is consistent. Awesome. So I want to make sure that everyone who is or may still be interested, who have not commented, I want to take a interested state of mind to a consistent state of mind by the end of class. So this class is going to be anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes long. So make sure that you cancel out all distractions and have a pen and paper because I will be giving you tips. I'm going to be giving you homework. I'm going to be giving you leads, everything that you need to get started tonight. Tonight, because I want you all to get off of this live and start applying tonight. Now, before I get started and before I teach you the method, I want to share with you proof, not just from my mouth, but also from people who've put in the work, who've came to class like you have, and has actually stayed consistent and committed. So I have Maureen here. Maureen here has landed her first contract. This is a great milestone because it did not take her multiple contracts to get to $1,800 weeks, and she is using her own vehicle. Then we have Christina. Christina invested in the business on the business side, and she went from driving to actually getting medical supply contracts with the government. How many people in the room that's interested in government contracting? Put me in the chat. And then we have Jim. Jim uses this side hustle to make money in addition to his full-time job. So he already works a 9 to 5, but then he does this 3 very part-time days. And he's doing anywhere from $500 to $700 a week. That is 2,000 to 3,000 almost every single month extra for bills, for spending money, for investment money. That is bomb that you can make that in addition to whatever else you're already doing. Because remember, we want to make extra streams, more money from different streams. So my goal for you all today is to show you how to turn 2 to 3 medical certificates into a profitable medical courier lab business and scale it into 100 plus K a year. The greatest thing about it is that this is um it doesn't require you to see the results very long time. So you're able to see results within a week. You don't need a lot of startup money, if any startup money, because remember, all you need is a car, you need your insurance, and you need a smartphone. That is it. And then your certifications as well. And you don't need a medical degree. I say that is because I am a nursing major or was a nursing major. And at one point I was like, oh, I had to go through extensive amount of school in order to get into the medical industry and start making medical type money. Nah, you don't have to do none of that. And the greatest thing about it, you can do this in less than 60 minutes a day. So the strategies and methods and techniques I'm going to share with you today you're about to discover are the exact same strategies that I personally use to grow my medical courier business to multiple 6 figures a year. Now, I want to start off with sharing with you all that there's a couple of different avenues you can go into the medical courier. So you can start with on demand, like Derek here. That is where I started at. I did apply for hourly and mileage reimbursement opportunities, but I was only looking for on demand. It's because myself, because I am a serial entrepreneur, we had other businesses that we were running. So I needed something that was on demand. And on demand means that at any time they can call you or I can call them and say, hey, can I have, do you have any routes? Do you have any contracts? And this is great because, excuse me, I have an event space. Me and my husband have an event space. And so sometimes we may get a booking on a Thursday. And I can't go into LA and do medical courier work. So I need that flexibility. So you have on-demand contracts or you have contracts that you can partner with these partnering companies. Now, Tanya here, Tanya started with the car. Then she started to see that it wasn't a huge amount of opportunities in her area that paid her very well. So what she did was she said, you know what? Bump this. I'm going to invest in a cargo van. And she did that and she's making 800 to $1,000 per week. Now, understand, you make the max amount of money when you are stacking. I was doing anywhere from $500 to $600 days, but I was stacking more than one contract. Like Maureen, like earlier, she's doing 1,800 a week. She can easily stack another contract and bring it up to $3,000 a week. The most I've made in one week was just over $3,000. So once you decide what type of contracts that you want, now you can start looking for these opportunities. So why should you start? Why should you start the medical courier business out of anything? Well, there's a couple of reasons. The biggest reason is when I first started, this was like in the middle of the pandemic, and I was able to see, what type of businesses sunk and which ones scaled. And anything essential was scaling. I was doing medical courier at that time. I was doing independent contracting work, driving work. And so what I started to see was instead of just investing in businesses that I think that's going to win, I said I wanted to only invest in things that was a need, a necessity. So let's just say another pandemic or that current pandemic got any worse, I was going to be able to sustain and pay my bills or whatnot. Another reason why you should invest in the medical courier is because I have this graph right here with some statistics. So as you can see, each of these numbers here, they're in the billions. So 5.9 billion, 6.2 million, and it keeps scaling. What you're seeing here is a scale from 2023 to 2033. We go from 5.9 to almost 9.2. We almost a double in the need for medical courier. But what you also have to understand, medical courier is like an umbrella. And under that umbrella, you can deliver a multitude of other items, other documents. So you can see right here, all these has different colors, right? Each color stands for something. So I was mainly delivering medical supplies and lab specimens. But you can also deliver and transport x-rays, prescription drugs, blood and organs, as well as medical notes. So know that you do not have to stick with just medical courier or specimens specifically, specimen delivery. And even there were times when I got routes that wasn't technically medical, but it was still courier. So I do not care what I'm delivering as long as it's not people or groceries. I don't want to do that anymore. I've been there, done that. I made a great amount of money, but I always tell everyone, it is a stepping stone. Even with you all, everyone in this room, this is a stepping stone. You're not to be doing this in the next 10, 15, 20 years. You're going to start, make your money, and then you're going to reinvest. What is your next step? So just understand that this will get to the bag, get you your investment money and pay some bills, but you cannot pass this down. You cannot have someone working for you if you just stick at a person that's saying, "Hey, I'm just going to drive. I'm just going to drive." For on demand, what if I reach out to you, but you're unavailable and you're in other business jobs? You just email me. I make sure that I answer all my emails. So when you're talking to me, you're emailing, you're going to be talking to me. So I always tell everyone, I had a lot of different businesses that I've invested in. And I do believe that medical courier is one of the easiest. And I've done the drop shipping, the affiliate marketing, selling on Amazon, trading. And I do believe that there is very much so success, but it is medical courier is one of the easiest side hustles, side gigs that you can turn into a main business than any other type of business that you have heard of and invested in is because it does not take a lot from you. A lot of investment money, a lot of time. You just got to be consistent. So now you're probably thinking, who the heck is this little brown girl and why should you listen to me? And that is a really good story. Excuse me, a really good point. And I want to share with you a quick story on what it is that I do, what it is that I've came from, and just give you a little bit more roundabout of who I am. So I came from entrepreneurial parents. My mom and dad were bakery owners. They had their own school. They had created a jazz lounge. What else? They had a books, herbs, and things. When I tell you, I get it from my parents. That's where I get it, my drive, my inspiration, and all that. So this is 19-year-old me with my dad. One of the first businesses that I started when I moved out and started going into college part-time was Sister Shabazz. So this was the first business that I ever had that was independent from my mom and dad. And I would go to farmer markets. I was going to pop-ups for anybody that's in the Los Angeles area. I would go into the Leimert Park. If you know, you know. And I would just go up there on Sundays. I had a whole route, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I just sold. And it was good. It was great money. I made part-time money. I was in school, but then I got married. I dropped out of college, and at that time and point, I was a nursing major. And it's so funny. I have a full circle moment. Like I dropped out of nursing school just to still be in the medical industry 20 something years later. It's great. So I dropped out and I started working minimum wage jobs. Me and my husband got into Amazon, and at that time, Amazon was really dope as far as the pay. They paid very well, but they worked you. I did not care for it. I asked a lot of people, what is their why? Because my why is I didn't want to go back to 9 to 5, and I definitely didn't want to go back to Amazon. So every single day when I didn't feel like committing to my business, when I was said I was tired, I just thought about the things that I did not want to do at Amazon all the time. So that is something that you all need to have is your strong why. It's not a matter of if, but when you may feel discouraged. You're going to have your ups and downs, but you got to be able to get back on the horse. So I have a strong why, and you all should have one too. Um, so I was working $12 an hour. It was terrible. You can't do much on that type of salary in Southern California. And I had a side hustle. Me and my husband was flipping cars as well. We had my brother had his dealer's license and still does, and we would go to the auctions and we'll flip cars on the side. So I was in my hustling bag. My husband was. So then in May 2018, my life changed. 2018, my father passed. And it was terrible because, we all think we have time. And I told myself that I did not want to go to the wishing well. I did not want to get to a point to where I've been like, I shoulda, I coulda, but I didn't. So this was pretty much my breaking point. I was broke. We had our $12 an hour job and our side hustles, but it was just enough to pay bills and do a small amount of investment, if any. I hardly had any free time, no connections, but I had a fire lit up inside of me. I told myself that I was going to go all in. So that next year, I just started indulging. I was on YouTube University. I paid for a couple of mentorships. I was trading. I was doing affiliate marketing. I even invested in the vending machine business. Mind you, this is during the pandemic. This is during the pandemic when, 6 feet social distancing. So that was another business I wanted to invest in that didn't require any type of human communication. And again, it was going to withstand that pandemic or another one. That was just my mindset. But I wanted to go all in and invest in different businesses to figure out what it is that I wanted to do, or side businesses, or go through some type of mentorship. The greatest thing about it is that they all work, but there was always something, whether it was competition, long wait time, or I needed more money to start. Because even with the vending machine business, I needed more money constantly because when I got new locations, I had to get new machines. And some locations required two machines, not one machine. Each machine could be anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 per machine. At one point, I had five machines location, excuse me, five locations at once. And then I started to sell them. Then I got some more, but at the end of the day, there was always something. And during that time, it was, sell something online, make money online with a viral product. And again, I believed in it, but I knew that it was not the right time because again, I needed time and I needed that moolah. I needed some investment money and I didn't have credit. So I started to think, I was like, well, what if there was a way where I could just make a lot of money in person? I could just show up in person. So again, I went back to YouTube University. I had found someone's free class, something similar to this, and I took it. Again, all you need is a car, 18 and over, insurance, and you just need your smartphone. Was I skeptical? Yes, because I vaguely heard about it, but I just was not 1000% sure. Like, can I make just as much I did with Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Instacart, just doing medical courier? So I was skeptical, like some of you all maybe, but I was committed. I was committed. I showed up every single day and I applied. And then 3 weeks later, I was making 5K plus per month. This was like my first month. I was able to push in 5K. And this is me right here. This is the green and the blue bags. All of them are filled with blood specimens. And all I'm doing is going from one hospital or clinic or pharmacy to the next hospital, clinic, or pharmacy. I'm not visiting anyone's homes with these routes. And then as you can see right here, these were some of the medical supplies that they would give us and throw in with the route. But mainly I was delivering medical specimens. Again, no special skills, no secret connections, not even living in a popular area because I stay in Riverside. And Riverside is decent, but because I was Ubering and Lyfting before, I knew Los Angeles County, Orange County, even San Diego. That is where the money was. So I knew that even if I did not live in a popular area, I still had access to these areas. All it just took a nice little hour, hour and a half drive. And all you had to do was driving. Second month, I was doing over 8K a month. I was able to reinvest into my business and I was able to upgrade my lifestyle. Now, some of you may know this, but me and my husband invested in an event space studio during the pandemic. And during the pandemic, we didn't have the credit, we didn't have the loans, like we just did not have the history. And even if we did, I just was at the point that I was like, I don't want to invest in spend money and I haven't even started to make money. So that is one reason why I started looking for a medical career extra work, which allowed me to make money and not have to take away from what I was already doing. So when I started making that 8K plus a month, then I was reinvesting it into our event space business, from piping and draping, from tables and chairs, from decorations, from up lights. Like we had to invest in all of these things. And the greatest thing about it is that once we got done, we didn't have to owe anyone. So when we were getting bookings, it was pure profit because I wasn't taking out any loans. Then I just started to get uncomfortable. Like after my father passed, I just told myself, if it makes me uncomfortable, I'm going to sprint towards it. And you all should do the same thing. If you are comfortable, that's a problem. Know that being comfortable, the same thing is going to happen. Nothing's going to change. Your bank account's not going to change. And I don't want to sound like cliche, but it's the truth. When I did things I did not want to do, I was scared. That's when I started to see progress, income, networking opportunities, even right here. I got uncomfortable and just started surrounding myself around individuals, and I met Eric Coffey. Eric Coffey has done about, what, 20 plus years in the government contracting industry, and I just started being around him. I did a couple of speaking engagements, even on the stand store for creators. They had heard about my story and they were like, wow, you are making great money without quote unquote having a business yet, because I didn't have a business right off the back. I was mainly doing this driving my vehicle. Then I turned it into a business later. And then I was also featured in a couple of other podcasts throughout my time. Let me see. I see some questions in here. My wife, I drive buses for the state. Although I make 83K a year, I'm tired of scheduling and transporting people. Yep, Randall, I feel it. This is why I say, everyone, this is a stepping stone. You make your money, but be ready to go to the next thing. And remember, all we're doing is delivering things with our vehicle and going to the hospital. So thousands of individuals have tapped into the system and duplicated my success. Now, it has worked for tons of everyday people. I have hundreds of different testimonials, but I have to say this, it's not a guarantee it'll work for you. Now, hold on before you beat me up. The reason why I say it's no guarantee it'll work for you is because I don't know your hustle. I don't know your drive. If you're anything like me, then you will be successful. If you're anything like me, you're going to be successful. I promise you. But I cannot sit there and say, oh, this will guarantee work for you, and you don't do the work. But if you do the work and you're consistent, you will see results. And this is the number one money making opportunity that I recommend to my husband and my friends and all my family. One more small story, and then we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes. My husband, when I first started doing medical courier, that first month, I told my husband about it. At that time, he was working at Walmart distribution center. He was doing overnights, so he'll work overnights, and then when he come in, I was ready to take the car to go do medical courier in the daytime. And so when he seen like I made my 5K that first month, and he was like, "Wait, what are you doing again?" By the second month, when I was doing 8K a month, he was like, all right, I think I'm ready to take a leave and come on and do this with you. So I wound up getting him hired with my company, what I work with, and we were making bank. Now there were times that we went by ourselves. Sometimes he went with me, sometimes he went by himself, and there were times that we would go together. It is not mandatory that you go with a partner, but just know when I was driving, I was doing a good 6 to 8, maybe 9 hours a day. When we drove together, I was able to do 10, 12, sometimes 14 hours a day. This is how we were doing that $500, $600 a day. We were making money and we were able to tag team. When he was driving, I was looking for other opportunities, other apps, other routes that we can add into our day. Because remember, we always are going to be stacking. Brianna says, we've been all on the apps. We're on the wait list. It seems saturated. All right, I do understand that. So I did include in this class training some other apps that are not on people's radar that you can add to medical courier and courier routes. So I got you, Brianna, because I know exactly what you were saying. So how does it work? So let's break everything down in a step-by-step system. So I have a formula. The first formula is that step one is to find the contract. In order to find the contract, you have to do some steps first. Excuse me. You have to do a couple of steps first. The first step is you need to get certified. That is the first step. Um, I tell everyone that you have to at least get two certifications, a HIPAA and a bloodborne pathogen. Now, although I sit there and tell you all to get certified, I'm about to tell you some contradicting stuff. Although I said you got to get certified, I didn't get certified is because I found a company that paid for my certification. They had the certification like on their back office and I did it online with them, but they paid me. Sounds weird, right? Normally you have to pay, I think it's like 30, $40. I wouldn't know because I didn't pay for it, but I think it's like 30, $40. And you get your certification in like an hour and then boom, now you can do medical courier work. But I found a company that did it on my behalf, and all I had to do is take it online. So that's the first thing. Get certified. The second thing is you need to find the contract. After you get certified, you need to find these contracts. Where these contracts are located. These contracts are located on my top 5 sites. So my top 5 sites is going to be Indeed, Indeed.com, ZipRecruiter, the CLDA.org, Driver Talk, which is also known as CB Driver, C as in cat, B as in boy. Excuse me. And the fifth one is Google. I do all of them. Everything that we go over in this class, you are not to just do one of the things. You're supposed to do every single thing that I tell you to do. If you're going in here saying, I'm only going to look for opportunities on this app, which is Indeed.com, and that's it. Nope. Nope. I'm not saying you won't get results, but if we're trying to maximize the results, you need to hit all of these apps, these websites all at once. So now that you know what sites have this medical courier and courier work, and mind you, this is opportunities. These are on-demand subcontracting jobs that you're going to be getting with companies that already have the work. So this is not government contracts. This is not getting contracts in your business name. This is none of that. This is just you getting work with the vehicle that you already have. Now, the next thing is you have to update your resume. Although you don't need experience, I tell everyone at least put some type of current or your previous job experience with some medical courier and courier experience. And the reason being is because there's plenty of people out there, and I do get it that it can become a little saturated. But these are the things how I make sure I bring myself to the top of the front of the line. As I make sure that my current or my previous job has medical courier or courier experience. It does not, that resume does not have to read, bleed, breathe, what it is, medical courier. No, it does not. Just make sure your previous or your current one. And use Chat GPT in order to upgrade your resume. Also, when you are applying with these companies, please do not believe or think that you're just going to take that one resume and apply for all the positions. We had AI back when I used to work for the county, and this is how I was able to get work and get pulled, is that I would always put keywords, the job description in my resume, because I know even now they're doing this. They have AI now. They have these bots that can read. There's so many times your resume, your application is going to get kicked back is because AI said you did not sit there and qualify. So I tell everyone, make sure that when you do update your resume, have that position, some of those words and descriptions, and put it in a resume. I don't care if you have 5 to 10 resumes. Do what you got to do. Yes, this is recorded. You will be able to watch it on my YouTube channel. So now that we have our resume, the next thing we need to do is apply. We need to apply, apply, apply. Now we're going to do some live demonstration. So in the chat, I want you to put your city and your state in the chat because I want to do some live demonstrations and we're going to use actual people in the areas, in their areas. All right, so a lot of cities and states are coming in. Let's do Orlando, Florida. Let's start with Orlando, Florida. So I'm gonna put Orlando, Florida in here. And when we go back here, I have these keywords. So you need to make sure that whether you're on Indeed, ZipRecruiter, or even Google, that you're putting in keywords. You have to have you at least three. So write these down. But you can also do 1099 as a keyword, and you will be putting a keyword here. You'll be doing 1099, independent contracting, courier, medical courier. You could put car, you could put van as your keyword, and you just want the keyword so you can start going through here. So we're gonna do medical courier first. And remember, everything we do on Indeed, we got to do it on ZipRecruiter. We got to do it on the CLDA. We got to do it on CB Driver. We got to do it on Google. That's how you're going to maximize. Now, I'm going to be very honest. I never really got to Google because there were so many opportunities on the first four sites. So I didn't even need to go to Google. But if you have to go to Google, go to Google. All right, so now we have Medical Courier in Orlando, Florida, and we have 50 plus opportunities. So if we go back here, one key tip, that a pro tip that I always tell people is that open up your mileage to at least 100. And mind you, I'm in Riverside. I know that even when I was applying and I was getting terrible, terrible offers for like $14, $15 an hour. And I was like, bump this, I gotta go into LA. In order to even see that opportunity, I had to open up these mileage. So I would always open it up to 100 miles. So it took 50. Now it goes to 100 plus. I don't care what city, what state you're in, you need to open up the miles to at least 100. If you sit there and say, oh, I don't like driving, then this is not the hustle. This is not the side gig for you because this is all you're doing is driving. All right, so you're going to open it up for 100 miles and I want you to apply for everything. Even if you feel like the pay is not right, even if you feel like I don't like what I'm delivering, oh, I take that back. If you're delivering packages for FedEx and UPS, skip. I don't suggest for you to do anything I don't do. I don't believe in filling up your car with Amazon Flex or your van and your truck with a bunch of packages and you going in the neighborhoods and you just stopping and dropping off these packages. I don't do that. No. But as long as it's medical courier, I mean, even medical transportation for like clients, for people, I'll do that before I deliver any packages. So I just want to make sure I'm very clear. Leave the packages alone. So you're going to apply for everything, and then you're going to go to page 2, 3, 4, and 5. You do not skip and move on to another keyword until you have applied for everything on however many pages. This is how you're able to maximize your earning potential. A lot of people would just be like, oh, I applied for a handful and nobody called me. Right. They're not going to call you. So you have to make sure that you are applying. Let's do another one. Let's do one more. Let's see. Let's go back in. Charlene Hesperia. You're in the IE. Hesperia. And then we're gonna search. I just want to see if there's any opportunity. Yep, you're in a nice location. Charlene, is because you are a little bit closer. You're way closer than me. To Well, I take that back. You still, because you're up there in Victorville. Yeah, you're in Victorville. So you might have to come down the hill, but you can still get opportunities in your area. As you can see, 100 miles. They do have you come in a Rancho, but Rancho is not that far when you're coming down the hill. But you have opportunities in your area. I want everybody to know that there's opportunities in your area. You just have to look for them. And then just when you feel like that there is still not enough opportunity, I just tell everyone, go ahead and get that LLC so you can open up your view. Because remember, you're only gonna be able to qualify for so many without an LLC. When you have an LLC, it opens up so much more. So when are you going to start applying? When are you gonna start looking? Tonight. I tell everyone, tonight. You don't save this for tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, tonight. Keisha says now. I like that answer. Otis says yesterday. I love that one too. I love it. So you need to start. I tell everyone tonight is a great time, is because a lot of contracting officers, and even don't forget about LinkedIn. You can find opportunities on LinkedIn as well. But a lot of them are looking on Sundays, sometimes even Mondays. So you want to get yourself at the front of the line. So I'm not saying I don't apply every day. I was applying every single day. But then on Sundays, on Mondays, I would double up. I would double up. Okay, so that is step number one. Step number two is that you need to land the contract. How are you going to land the contract? This is where consistency kicks in. I tell everyone you need to be showing up on all of these sites, 25 to 40 positions a day. Mind you, I'm talking about 20 to 20, 25 to 40 on Indeed, 25 to 40 on ZipRecruiter, 25 to 40 on Google, 25 to 40 on CLDA, and then 25 to 40 on CB Driver. You won't get to 25 to 40 on CB Driver. They don't have a lot on there. But all the rest of them, I need you to be applying. Remember, remember, it does not take long to apply. When I said Kalila says when you say double up, you mean reapply to the same place? No, when I say double up, I mean you're going to be applying for 25 positions a day, right? But then you need to do that on Indeed, 25 to 40. Then you're going to double up and you're going to go on ZipRecruiter, do 25 to 40. Then you're going to do CLDA, 25 to 40. Actually, write down your Chamber of Commerce. You can go on Google and put in Chamber of Commerce. And then once you reach their site, you can put in keywords again. And then it pulls up medical courier and courier different opportunities in your area. So when I say double up, that means do the exact same thing on another site. On another site. This is how I was able to get my first contract within 7 days. I like around the fourth day, I was like, why my phone not ringing? I was like, Leela, stick to the process. Don't worry about the results. Just stay committed. But around the seventh, eighth day, that's when I got my first interview and I was hired. Did I take it? No, it was trash. But I kept applying. The third week, that's when I got crosstown and I was doing anywhere from $300 a day with that company to even $500 a day. And then I would stack other apps. Um, Would it be better to apply directly to the hiring company? Deanna asks. It depends. So sometimes when they're on Indeed, they'll want you to just apply straight on Indeed. But if you're going, like, let's say on Google, putting in medical courier and you're searching your area, then that's when you would apply straight from on their site. Because a lot of times, companies are hiring, but they're not on Indeed. They didn't post it on Indeed or ZipRecruiter, or they may use Monster as their job board. But either way, I like to do both. I'll apply over here on Indeed, ZipRecruiter, all those extras, and then I also apply on their website. Keep in mind, I don't care if you go right or if you go left. You have to make sure that you are calling, emailing, as well as applying online. So normally how I do when I see an opportunity, I'm going to go online first. I'm going to stalk their website. I'm going to see if I can apply to be a driver. I'll see if I can send them a message on their website as well. And then I'll wait a couple of days. And then I will hit them up. I'll call them. If I can't get in contact with anyone, and if I can get in contact, I'm going to email them next. I'm going to bug them. I want them to be like, I'm going to give Leela a contract because she keeps bugging me, or I'm just going to tell her to leave me alone. I like to keep, even if someone tells me no, a company tells me no, even after 2 to 3 weeks, I like to hit them up again. It's because some of these companies are getting government contracts, getting private contracts. That means they are constantly getting work. So what happens when someone goes on vacation? What happens when someone fired? What happens when someone just leaves? So this is why I like to always be at the front because companies will forget you. It is up to us to stay in they face, stay on they necks. What is Indeed? Don't have to apply, but what is Indeed? Don't have to apply, but easy apply. Is that effective as well? Very effective. I found Crosstown on Indeed. That's the company that was giving me $300 to $500 days. Yes, Indeed is very much so um, still usable. Can organ transportation be a keyword or twig? So, Randall, yes, you can put all of that in there. Now, will that work in your area? Just depending on if they have contracts or opportunities in that area. But I will put it all in there. Put it all in there. See what comes up. All right. Now, I have a couple of partners that you should write down and you should all reach out. A lot of them are nationwide, or some of them is maybe majority of the USA, maybe not every single state. But I want you to write these companies down. Remember Crosstown Courier I tell you about? That's one of the companies I used to work with. They have a sister called Apollo Couriers as well. Write that down. Write all of these down. So why are we talking about these partners? These partners may or may not be on Indeed, but these partners are definitely on Google. So another part of your homework or your strategy as well is that you're going to apply, yes, for Indeed, ZipRecruiter, for actual job opportunities. But then when you go onto Google, you're looking for partners. These are companies that already has bigger contracts, has a work, and they are looking for individuals like you and I that already have our car, our van, our box truck. It really does not matter. So we have Crosstown. Say them again. I missed it. They're right here. I haven't. Did I switch it? Oh, I'm sorry. There it goes. I thought I was on the screen and I wasn't. So here are your 5 partners. And then add Apollo to the list. Apollo couriers to the list. Take a screenshot, write them down real fast. Because we're about to go ahead and go to the next one. Um, Walter says any resources for vehicles. What do you mean when you say resources for vehicles? Are you talking about to purchase? So all you need to do is find your first one, and then you start to scale and get more and more and more. Now, I don't care if you found one. It does not mean that you stop applying. If I would have stopped applying, I would have never found Crosstown. I would have stayed at a crappy medical courier company making $15 an hour and they're giving me 30-cent mileage reimbursement. I would never found it. Even if you think it's a bomb one, you still need to apply. Couple of reasons. You don't know when is the next best opportunity. You do not know. And also, um, I'm not loyal to these companies. Do I do a good job? Yes. But I need to find as many routes, as many opportunities in order for me to live, for you and I to live and get to the bag. Do we tell them this? No, that's none of their business. I'm the only company I work with you. And I tell everyone that if you are going to stack and you are going to use multiple companies, just make sure you do a good job. That's one thing that I do. If you commit me, or excuse me, I commit and say, "Hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it full. I'm going to do it on time. I'm going to do it right." But at any time, if I need to say kick rocks, I'm going somewhere else, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that real fast. Vehicles to purchase. So, Walter, I went through my credit union. If you have a credit union, if you already have your business, not your business, your personal account with a credit union, they will work with you even when your credit is not so bad. You have to build your history. You have to, be depositing. I did a couple of pledge loans, and I was able to qualify, and they cut me a check, and I was able to go and purchase something off the lot. So I would say look at your credit union. If you're still like, I kind of just want a little hoopty, then I would say look on Craigslist or OfferUp if you want to buy something cash. That is what I would do. But I would really, really, really suggest that if you go used in a car, like the little hoopty, make sure that it's within 10 years because these medical courier companies will not take your car if it's 10 years plus old. This is why I was applying with the vehicle I already had. And then I was turning around and renting a car after I got hired. So even, and we didn't have like a hoopty at the time. It was like a car, I think that car was like 2018. But I just did not want all of the demand, the pressure, the maintenance to be all on that vehicle. So that's why I went rental. So those are two ways that you can do that. Um, those are two ways. Can a person start their own company hiring drivers? How would that process go if you have all the credentials in place? And Dina, so yes, a person, let's just say you, start your own medical courier company. Your goal is to secure the contracts first. Once you secure the contract, depending on what state that contract in, you're going to find your drivers for that state or that area. You can go on the same sites that you use to find work is the same site that you're going to post your opportunities on. So on Indeed, yes, I can apply for work and look for work, but right here I can post a job if I have a opportunity that I want to fill. So you can do that on Indeed, you can do that on ZipRecruiter, you can do that on courierboard.com, but courierboard is, I believe it's a fee. It's a fee. Or you can go through Facebook Marketplace, not Facebook Marketplace, Facebook groups in order to find individuals that you want to use. And after that, you just need a couple of things that you're going to ask them to make sure they have so to make sure you're compliant. But remember, when you own the company and you say you have all your credentials you need is that get contract ready. You're not necessarily getting certified as a HIPAA, as a bloodborne pathogen, or your TWIC, or any of these other certificates. It's because you're now the company. You're making sure that the person that you hire have all those credentials. And I'm talking about like your certifications, your insurance, like that type of stuff. We apply to these places as an individual if we weren't registered our business yet? So you're going to apply however they tell you to apply. There are going to be times where they're going to say, no, you have to use your social. You have to apply as your W-2 worker. And then there's other companies that will not even allow you to do that and say, hey, you have to apply using your business EIN number. So this is why I say you should have an LLC, and because your LLC, you have your EIN number and everything else. So then when those opportunities do come up, you're not saying, "Oh, I'm gonna pass on them because I don't have it." I was applying for everything because I was doing both LLC and non-LLC. Um, you said please go back one slide. You talking about here? Or are you talking about here? Take a screenshot. Okay, let's keep it going. Okay, step three is the last one. This is stacking. You have to stack, stack, and stack some more. You do not stop stacking, whether it's more certifications, whether there's more apps. Like me, myself, I started off as a medical courier business and I got those certifications for HIPAA and bloodborne. Since then, you like that video? Since then, I've also got my certification to do DNA testing. I'm working on drug. I could do ink fingerprinting. Also, I am working on adding first aid and AED. This is classroom type teaching. But just know that you're going to stack by either adding more routes or adding more certifications. And we can turn that into our own business, our own side hustle. So you have to stack and stack some more. Could I use it or I have to get a new LLC? Um, if you already have something in place, well, tell me what you have in place because I'll tell people use what you already have. But if you want to start off right and end up right, I do suggest that you have something specifically for this business that you are creating. Especially if the other LLC that you have is a business that You may or may not do business anymore, but let's just say you did want to use that previous LLC, then I suggest that you create a DBA, which is a doing business as name, and you can put multiple DBAs under one LLC, and that DBA can point all to Medical Courier. But your LLC, that is going to be whatever the LLC you already have. So you can either do it that way or you can just start fresh. It's up to you. Randall says, how do I update the HIPAA and bloodborne pathogen? You're just gonna have to recertify. You can recertify on Red Cross, and then remind me shortly towards the end of the class. I'll give you a list. I'll give everyone a list of the where you can get your certifications and if you have to recertify. All right, so these are some apps slash websites that resemble apps that you should be reaching out to. So write these companies down, screenshot. You're going to be going to these individuals' website. You're not going to go to your phone and pull the app up. No, that is not what we're doing. A lot of these companies will, you can apply online, and then even some of them will give you an app once you are approved and actually starting to run routes. So write these down. Your goal is to Google them, apply online. If you have to, if you can send a message on that same website, send a message. And my message is usually my resume as well in there. I want them to look right, left, up, and down. They're gonna see Leela Brown. That's I want to bug them, and that's what I want you all to be. I don't want you to be scared, like, oh, I applied once. No, they need to know your name. They don't need to know your name, your company name. So they'll be like, oh, I'm gonna hit up this person because they keeps bugging me. They hungry, they ready to eat. So you're gonna take each one of these and you're gonna put it into Google. You're gonna find the website and you're gonna apply, call them, and then email them. All right. So there is other apps out there like what is it? Curry, Freight. Um, my mind just went blank. Curry. Um, let me give you a couple of more. But I just know that for sure they are going to put you on a wait list. So let's just say here, I'm gonna get you a couple of them. So write these down. We got Best Carriers, we got Bex, we got Bex Bags. I think this is his name. Bex, we got Boomerang, we got Bring, Bungee, Caviar. Take a screenshot. American Expediting. There is a chance that you will be waitlisted for these companies, but please do this for me. Don't take the wait list as an end all. I want you to be on that wait list for a few days. And then after a few days, I want you to call them up. I want you to email them. I want you to bug them. I want you to tell them I have this vehicle in this area. Do you think that you can open up the opportunity for me to be able to sign up, to sign in and get me to join your company? Do not take anyone's nose as face value. Nope. I'm gonna bug you. I'm gonna bug you. Okay, let's keep it going. The next thing I want to talk about is how you leverage other types of apps that are not technically Medical Courier or Courier. So, I've always been a type of person who is I'm gonna download as much as I can, as many apps I can, is because once I'm approved, I'm gonna turn every single one of them on at the same time, and I'm gonna go with the one that pays the most, that's the least amount of mileage. Um, excuse me, if it's not too heavy. Like I will cherry pick. This is how I cherry pick. So I tell everyone is that if you're still waitlisted and you're waiting, go and look at field inspection agents. All they do, and these are some apps, these are some companies, and the apps or whatnot. Again, you're not going to go on the app. You're going to go to the company website first, and then they'll push you to the app later. But what you want to do is you want to incorporate these so you can maximize your earning potential. All you're doing is taking pictures. In some instances, you're not even getting out of your car. You just taking pictures of people's properties. It could be vacant, it could be landscaping, it could be apartments, it could be housing, it could be a warehouse. It does not matter. So you want to sign up with these different opportunities. Also, I've included InstaWork and WorkWow. These are apps where you can find different job opportunities. They're not all medical courier, but they do have some medical stuff on there. Like my one of my bestest friends, she is on InstaWork or was, and she finds different jobs, whether it's courier, whether it's serving. She just goes on there and finds work, and she'll go work it. Well, one of the opportunities that she found on InstaWork was a medical sanitation worker. All she did was go into the different hospitals, and not just in her area, all over, because they was even flying her out. And she goes there and she cleans. That's all she's doing. She's doing um um like deep cleaning. And she started with InstaWork. A couple of months later, they wind up hiring her full time. Do you know she got her a nice medical job that's doing over 100K a year, and she doesn't even work more than 30 hours a week. So this is why I'm telling you all is don't sleep on these other different sites, is because that I've never seen what she does on Indeed. I've never seen that on ZipRecruiter or even on LinkedIn. I'm not saying it's not out there, but a lot of times these opportunities are not where we think they are at. So get on with InstaWork and browse and work while and browse that time. Just to clarify, did you mention that vehicles older than 10 years are not accepted? Melissa, yes. Yes. Now, I will say this much. There is companies that do not care and will not ask you about it. There's apps, but at the same time, you won't know until you go to their site or the actual job description in itself. But just as a rule of thumb, try to make it 10 years or less. So this is how I turn one contract into multiple bags, because I'm able to stack. This is how I'm able to do $500 to $600 a day. I had 1 to 2 main courier routes, and I had about 3 to 4 different apps. 3 to 4 different apps. I did not run them all at the same time. It's because what takes priority is the medical courier and courier routes. The apps just turn on and off. So do not commit to anything if you know that you're going to be late with the main medical courier route or the courier route. And this is what I teach my also students that want to scale, is that you do not want to stop. This is D right here. She did over 3 contracts. She's making over $2,500 a week off of 3 contracts. 3 contracts. So this is the 3-step formula on how I have and my students have been able to land their first contract and making anywhere from $200 to $300 a day, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. It just depends on your time availability. What can and you cannot do. You want full time or part time? That is up to you. Um, Separate LLCs for the field agent work? No. So the field agent, this is you applying. No LLC. This is you applying with your name, that asks for your social and all that. This does not require you to use your LLC. Now, I will say that I don't want you to come back and be like, "Well, this one did." There, it might be because I believe like drop off, they want LLC information. I think it's drop off. So some companies will say like, "Hey, I need this information," but if they don't, we just gonna assume and just use our personal. How do we become an MC? You're talking about your MC license, Mac? So if you're talking about your MC license, I do not talk about that. Medical courier does not require that. I've never used and had to receive a MC license, a DOT number, a physical. I didn't even have a TWIC. All I had was a 2 certifications. You can get more. Some companies is going to require you to get more. But I tell everyone, do not go out there and get that unless you find out if that pays right. Because some companies are going to tell you, oh, with your car, we want you to have commercial insurance. Are you paying commercial insurance money? It's because if you're asking me to get commercial insurance and I stay in a vehicle and you're still trying to give me low pay, then I'm not going to get commercial insurance. I never had commercial insurance on my car. Every single medical courier opportunity that I had was on full coverage personal, and I used Geico. And another reason why I use Geico, it's because I told you I was renting as well, and I needed to save costs. So when you're renting, they want you to pay for that daily insurance with a rental car, 25, $30 a day, something like that. I said, no, that's going to cut into my profit. So I needed to find an insurance company, a personal car insurance company that would cover a car rental as well. So when I rent and researched Geico, because I had switched, what did I have? Did I have Mercury? I don't even remember. I think it was State Farms. Either way, I switched to Geico because when I read the fine print and I even called them to make sure, they had told me that they will cover a rental car in your name for full 30 days. Full 30 days. So that meant for me that I'm going to rent this car for 1 month and then close out the reservations and then re-register and get it again so it can use all my Geico insurance and I can waive their personal car insurance. So that's just like a little trick that I did was able to use my personal and then still rent cars. So all I was doing is paying for the daily rate for the vehicle and then gas. And also keep in mind, when you are reserving your car, I only use Hertz. I didn't do Enterprise. Enterprise is just too expensive. Hertz was the best one for me. And I've been renting cars with Hertz for probably like 6, 7 years. It's been a long time. So make sure when you are reserving, play around with your reservation. Book on a Tuesday, book on a Wednesday, book on a Thursday. And when I say book, I'm not saying on this day. I'm saying put in your reservation, like when you're creating a reservation, say that you want to pick up on a Tuesday, and then change it to see what a Wednesday, what a Thursday is. It's because those were usually the lower charging days, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And then also you want to keep your car, you want to reserve it for the full 7 days. You want to reserve it for the full 7 days. If you're saying, well, I don't have a route, I only have a route for 3 days, then don't use a rental car. I'm not going to tell you to spend money if it on a rental car if it does not make sense. The reason why it made sense for me is because I was going to be doing 4 to 5 days tough. And I did 4 to 5 day tough. Because a lot of times when you rent for 4 or 5 days or even 2 or 3 days, it's the same price for 7 days. I don't know why, but you want to rent the full 7 days. On the 7th day, you got your car, you've been driving it for full 7 days. That is when I call them and tell them, can you extend for another week? They will extend for another week for that same price. So there were times that I was spending $120, $150 a week for a rental car. I had to stop because they was trying to charge $300 a week, and I was like, all right, it's time for me to get my own car. But doing it for the full week, and then also not going to a poppin' area to rent your cars. So if you know Los Angeles or even the Inland Empire, Riverside County, then you know that Riverside, Rancho, Ontario, that's more richer. That's more. So I don't rent none of my cars from there. I'll go to the outskirts. I'll go to Moreno Valley. I'll go to Paris. I'll go to Menifee. These are all on the outskirts. For whatever reason, I get a cheaper rate for vehicles. So do not sleep on that. That is a nice tip. Do not rent in your pop-in city. Don't do that. Okay. So I always hear people, they're like, oh, I want to make 100K a year. First, let me ask you all, how much money do you want to make per month doing this? Whether you're doing this part-time, whether you're doing this full-time, you already got a main job, you're trying to make a little money on the side. If you're trying to go all full-time, like what is your goal a month? LaShawn says 10K. What about everyone else? What is your goal a month? How much you want to make per month? Jaleesa said 2K. iPhone Cam said it's going too fast. Kalila says 3K to start. 5K Olden. Anita says 10 to 20. Samuel says 5. Denisha says 8K starting. All right, for the most part, that is dope. That is all very doable numbers. So what I just did, what I'm about to do is I'm about to show you a little graph that I made. Is that a lot of people will say, oh, I want to make 5K, 10K, 30K, whatever your number is. You're not doing reverse engineering to see what is that on a weekly and on a daily. What is it that you need to make sure that you are making on a daily? Because if you're like, I want to make 10,000, the next question is how much money you need to make in order to a day in order to get to that 10K. Do you have any more places to apply to? Yes, we're going to talk about it shortly, especially on the business side. So this is a 5-day work week schedule. It doesn't matter if it's Monday through Friday. It does not matter if it's Wednesday through Sunday. It is 5 full days a week that you are committing. So for anyone that is going to commit 5 days and they want to make that 5K per month. So Sharon, Shavante, what is this? Barry, no, not Barry. He wants to make 10. Samuel, everybody wants to make 5K. That is 1,250 a week, and that's 250 a day. So many people would tell me, oh, Indeed doesn't pay enough. ZipRecruiter doesn't pay enough. How do you know what is enough? Because if you get two medical courier routes and they both pay $125 a day, you've reached your 5K a month. You've reached your 5K a month. This is where I am at. I was doing 8,500 plus per month from just this business. I had other business, other things that I was building up. Some had some income streams, other ones I had to still nurture, but I wanted this one to be 100K a year. So 8,500 cut 8,500 per month, $2,125 a week, and $425 a day. Remember, I told you I was doing $500 a day. I exceeded the 100K plus a year. I did over that. And it is all based off of me knowing what it is that I wanted to make a month, what I needed to make a week, and what I needed to make on a daily. Once you do that, then you know how to plan your whole day. You know that, oh, I can't stop working because I'm just tired. No, you need to make $100 more, so go turn on some more apps and don't stop. So that is like my mindset. Once I know what it is I need to make per month, per day, and then per week and per day, now I can aggressively attack it. How many hours daily? Melissa asks. So for me, when I was doing my $500 to $600 a day, I was driving anywhere from 8 to 9 hours to 12 to 14 hours a day. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I was driving. And that didn't include me driving back from Los Angeles back to where I stay at in the IE. And sometimes that could take another hour or 2 hours. I was driving. I was really in there making my bag, but this is why I'm telling you all, this is a stepping stone. I'm not trying to discourage anyone, but I'm just going to just keep it 100. It's not a matter of if, but when. You're going to get tired of driving. You're going to be like, bump this. You can't scale it. You can't hire any drivers because you the only driver and you got the only contract. No. You need another option. Another option. So when everyone is like, "Oh, I've been making some coins, I've been getting to the bag," or some of you on this line, on this call, it's like, "I don't want to do none of the driving. I just want to go to the next step, which is doing business with the government, private contracting, corporate contracting, even getting contracts direct in your business name from other businesses." So remember Crosstown I was telling you all about? Remember Crosstown Courier? I was telling you that I used to work with. So I want to show you the type of bag that Crosstown is giving, even to this day. And mind you, I started working in Crosstown in 2022. Even right now in 2026, Crosstown is still getting government contracts. So as you can see right here, we see Crosstown Courier right here. And today is January 25th. I didn't even look today to see if they want anything else for the month of January. But January 2nd, they want a contract for $107,000 of some change. Look right here, the next code, Couriers and Express Delivery Services. This is Courier, Medical Courier. 100,000. This is why I tell everyone, yeah, making $300, $400, $500 a day is good. But this right here, you can make your quota in a quarter. You can make your $100,000 a year in a quarter or a month, however you want to look at it. And mind you, Crosstown continues to stack. So January 2nd, 100K. December 17th, 2 weeks prior, $729,000. That is three-fourths of $1 million. This is why I tell everyone is that you don't want to be in driving with your car forever. It's because you can't create something that releases you from that driver's seat. And now you put in an administrative hat, or dispatching hat, of you actually sustaining just the business side, making sure everything runs right. You can always hire somebody to do the driving. This is not rocket science. But what is can be a little bit, I want to say not difficult. It can be a little difficult is you secure these contracts. It's because if you cannot be consistent in getting a job on Indeed and applying every single day consistently, you're gonna have problems over here. Because then you're gonna have to consistently reach out to contracting officers. You're gonna have to bid, you have to write proposals. And if you don't have some type of strategy and a system, you're going to fail over here. So it doesn't matter which side that you're going to come from and you want to invest in. Know that if you don't work, you're not going to get what you want. If you don't bid, you're not winning. No, this contract is yearly, yes. And the greatest thing about this, Shavante, is that these contracts go for 1 year, and then you can also get win the bid to go 2, 3, 4, up to 5 years. 5 years. And know that this 107 is going to be for, let's just say this was in 2026. They go into 2027, it's going to be slightly different is because when we bid, we have to bid slightly higher than the previous year for inflation and whatnot. So know that this 107 is for the year. But then this one right here, this one again for the year, 729,000. It doesn't stop there. Crosstown, the same month in December, the same month, which is last month, December 17th, and now we're at the 5th. They won a $240,000 contract. Again, Courier and Express. December 1st, $203,000 contract. They won over $1 million. And I said in 90 days, it's actually 30 days. 30 days. This is why I tell everyone this is a side that you want to be on at least in the near future. I do not expect anyone to go out here and say, hey, I want to go straight into government contracting. I want to start making the bag. And again, this is medical supplies here. But you need to understand is that you got to get your business contract ready. You live 45 minutes away from me. Let's connect. LaShawn, that is what's up. Please send me an email. Um, so you need to start. This is the first step, Catherine. Do I teach a master class on how to bid for contracts? I teach it more so in my community. So I do have a community that I want to share with you all called the Lab Academy. And I also share how you do this in an accelerated 5 days because I do a 5 day challenge. And that happens next month, February 16th to the 20th. But the short answer, yes. All right, so let's get back into it. You need to get your business contract ready. That means you need to get your LLC, your EIN, your business bank account, your business email, your physical address, and a couple of more other things. I have a checklist, so I'm gonna give it to you all because you should be working on this simultaneously as you're looking for work in your car. It's because this is gonna take you anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks to complete. So while you are looking for now money, running routes and contracts with your car, you should be working on your business and getting your business contract ready. All you need to do is find 1 to 2 of these contracts in order to get to your 100K per year. Do you all see the vision now? Isn't this obvious that this is your path to freedom? And it doesn't matter if you're going to go specifically into medical courier, medical supplies, or even some of the subcategories. You have to be willing to go after these private, these government, and these corporate contracts. This is where the money is. Catherine says, I have a SAM certification already. You already have your cage code. That is awesome. That is the part that takes anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks is because Sam is going to take it's going to be like sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes 4 weeks. That's where the money resides. That's right. So let's recap. Let's recap. So you now know the three-step system on how to turn medical certifications into a medical courier business or side hustle. If you don't want to start the business, you don't have to, but you can still turn these medical certifications into um, thousands of dollars every single month. You now know the medical industry paying people's nurses' salary. This is what nurses make, and in some cases, if you're a hustler like me, oh, you're hitting a nurse. Because I remember my sister first started um, becoming a nurse. I mean, she now makes way more than when she first started because she's a traveling nurse. When I used to tell her how much money I was making, and she was like, "Girl, you making nurses' salary," and I was like, "Really?" So you can make a bag. And now you also know how to start a beginner mobile lab delivery and scale it to private and government contracts. This is how we're going to scale it. But you got to first with getting your business contract ready. So was this web class worth your time? Was this worth your time? You've gotten a roadmap, but the real question is, are you going to walk it alone? Are you going to be the next person to secure 100K within 12 months? We're January, we're going into February. You still have time in order to invest and get focused and make 100K within 2026. Because I did it. I did it multiple times. So, are you willing to give at least 30 to 60 days? Are you willing to give yourself at least 30 to 60 days? So, give me a yes in the chat if you now feel like you have a clear strategy. Give me a yes in the chat if I turned that interested state of mind into a committed state of mind. Give me a yes in the chat if I delivered on my promise and gave you the three-step formula and everything that you need in order to progress in this side hustle that turns into a full-term, full-fledged business. Now, give me one more yes in the chat if I have your permission to share with you what I was talking to you about getting into private contracts, government contracts, corporate contracts, all of that stuff. Not about really what we talked about in the beginning of the class about Indeed. Like, you don't need me for that. You just need to go be consistent and go apply. What I'm speaking of is the Lab Academy 2.0. Inside the Lab Academy 2.0, and I was going to show you slides, but I just want to show you the navigation of the community in itself. So when you purchase and join the Lab Academy 2.0, you get a free ticket to my next 5-day challenge. It is 5 full days. We go through the medical courier, we go through the medical supply. I teach you how to bid, how to write your own proposals, how you do not need a proposal writer because you getting and paying a proposal writer does not guarantee that you will win. Keep that in mind. So I'm teaching you how to use AI. I use ChatGPT, the paid version, in order to write my proposals. I created a ChatGPT prompt for you all to use so you can write your own proposals faster, so you can bid even faster and win. I also share with you inside this community, it is from start to finish. So I'm going to give you the business foundation as well as the branding. Now, I came from a time where I didn't have the money. I don't like saying this word because I believe that you should only be speaking what you want. But at one point, I was broke, broke. And when I was broke, I didn't have any money, but I had time and I had drive. So I learned how to create my own websites, my own capability statement. That is this right here. Now, yes, you can go out there and pay someone on Fiverr or Upwork, but I show you how to do it yourself. I show you how to create your own website. And I said 1 day, but it's actually 2 hours. I show you how to create your capability statement. Your capability statement, it is basically the resume, but for government contracts, for private contracts, for corporate contracts. Your resume is more so for companies that you're going to be hired or you're trying to get hired with. This capability statement is more so a business resume. I'm also adding other certifications that you can expand in your business. I tell everyone if you're going to do medical courier, which is great, but if you want to even maximize your earning potential, you should be adding other certifications. So, me, I've added DNA testing. That is one certification, and I was able to get it in 1 hour. You're making a profit from anywhere from $2, sometimes $300 in profit just to swap someone. Then I'm also sharing with you all how to increase your personal credit and also get business funding. So when it comes time for you to invest in that van, that box truck, or get medical supplies or whatnot, then you don't have to use your own money. So this community in itself gives you everything that you need so you can start and scale your medical courier or medical supply business, but it also gives you other different avenue streams that you can add to your business. Like for example, notary, mobile notary. That is something else you can add. So my goal is for you all to take these medical certifications that you can get within a day. And then turn it into your own business. Yes, you can go work for someone, but if you turn it into your own business and then you sit there, can take it to the next level and get private contracts, government contracts, you now have a business that you can hire drivers, you can pass down to your, your kids, your grandkids, or whoever that you want. This is now something more sustainable than you just driving around town with your car. You get in a car accident, your car get totaled, that's your money. But this over here, this is something that I tell everyone that you should always be thinking about. What is your next step? After your stepping stone to making money with the car, what is your next step? Also, I share with you how, and I have to update this as well, as I'm sharing with you how to hire your virtual assistant. I'm able to do so much more in my business because I went ahead and hired a virtual assistant from the Philippines. I pay her $7 an hour and she does so much in my business, from medical courier to government contracting, to business websites. I didn't train her. I actually showed her how to look for opportunities. Heck, I even told her she had to watch my whole 5 day challenge. After she watched my whole 5 day challenge, and then I trained her on top of that, now she goes and find my contracts for me. This is very, very helpful for individuals who are like, hey, I still work full time. I still need some assistance. I need a little help. Then you have a virtual assistant that you can hire either part time or full time. I pay her full time $7 an hour, 280 a week, and it is the best investment. And I kind of felt some type of ways because she's off for a week, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I got to start doing work myself. Because I'm not saying I don't do work. It's just certain things she does. And I just don't mess with it. I just review it. Because it's a lot of stuff on my plate and I'll be overwhelmed sometimes. But it's so much other stuff that's within this community. But the greatest thing that I believe that's in this community is going to be the accountability. You're able to come to classes 2 times a month, and be able to ask your questions, get assistance, get help. I think someone asked, well, what if I needed assistance and I can't get to you or something? I told you to email me. Well, this is easier. This is even closer because you get to come on the calls. You get to ask questions in the community tab. And then the greatest bonus is that you're able to join the next challenge, which is February 16th through the 20th. So all in all, this is the Lab Academy 2.0, and you're able to get all of these courses and some more because I do add more courses every single month, if not every other month. Also, once you commit to the community, you have something what's called the leaderboards, and this is not an extra fee. This is just extra incentive that I'm giving everyone, is that when you reach every single new level, something new unlocks that's not in the classroom area. So this is extra. So a lot of individuals are needing, pricing bid sheets. They want to get to the get their business. Hold on one second. I answer that in just a second. A lot of people want to get the Chat GPT prompt and how to use proposals. The medical supply bundle. These are just extra additives that I'm giving individuals. The medical supply bundle, I do not sell this anymore. What I do is just in small increments, is because I don't want to oversaturate the list. Basically, these are government contracts. Remember when I told you in the beginning of the class, Christina won 49 medical supply contracts? This is the training. So this is a training that she had, but in addition to the medical supply bundle, it is me finding contracts on your behalf. These are the contracts, and these are medical supplies or other products. When you get the contract, you have to find the manufacturer, supplier, distributor in order for you to be able to buy it once you win it and send it to the government. Well, I did all that for you. That is the medical supply bundle. So when individuals start moving up the leaderboards, they get to unlock these different levels for free 99. So the community in itself is 12-month access, but I am changing that into lifetime access. I want you all, as long as the community is still standing, you will be always available to at least ask me questions, come into the free calls, the bi-weekly coaching calls. And then I also have some other bonuses that I'm not going to mention right now because it's a surprise once you get into the community. So this is going to be $297 for lifetime access to the community. But tonight in class, I want to do something special for anyone that wants to invest. They want to not just do medical courier with their car, but they want to start the business side. I'm giving everyone who invests tonight, either in class or before midnight, $100 off. So instead of $297, you're going to be only investing in $197. The greatest thing about it is that you can join now and pay later. I have it to where you can, here, let me put this up. You can use Zip. And if you want to use Klarna, let me know. But that way you can commit now, start learning, and then just pay later. So I want to invite anyone that wants to join now. Let me put this in the chat. So this is the Lab Academy 2.0, and I just put it in the chat. Go ahead and secure your seat. If you are driving and you can't commit right now, know that this link will stay active for the 197 until midnight tonight. So you can have some time so you can make your commitment. But remember, after midnight, it goes back to, what is it? 297. 297. It's gonna go back to the 297. And I think the 297 is a great price. I know, not just because I created it, but I think that is a great price just because you're able to have some type of accountability, some mentorship, and some guidance so you can constantly work on this business, not just for a couple of months, a few months, for the entire years, because there's different avenues, there's different entrance points, whether you want to go a beginner, intermediate, or advanced. Samuel says you're a godsend. Thank you, Samuel. Catherine said you got me. All right, so at this time, while everyone is securing their ticket, questions. Here, let me drop this in YouTube. Questions. Do we have any questions? Do you do one-on-ones and acts? Yes, I do one-on-ones. If you're looking for that, go ahead and email me. I'm gonna put my email in the chat right now. My email is going to be info@labgroupinc.com. I'm gonna put it in the chat right now. Where can you get the certifications from? Thank you for reminding me. Let me get that for you. Um, let's move. Is that here? Let me see where it is at. All right, so I'm gonna give you all two checklists. I gotta put it here. Congratulations. Let me just see who this was. Where we at? Where we at? Congratulations, Jason. Welcome to the community. Just give me 1 second. Let me just get this checklist and I'm going to add you to the community. Don't leave because I want to make sure you're in the community and so you know like what the next steps are. Okay, so I'm gonna give you this right here. Let's copy this. Um, Certification. Okay, here's this. Kayla said just purchase. Welcome to the community, Kayla. Welcome, Kayla, and welcome. I think we have one more. Diane Barnett. Hey, fam. Okay, so for Deanne Burnett, I have a business partner and this is her email address as well. Okay, give me 1 second and I'm going to add both of you. So this right here is a certification that I just put in the chat. This is where you can find your bloodborne and everything else, even some extra stuff on this list. And then I want to talk about the other one, the get contract ready, but this one's going to take a little bit longer. So let me get the new people into the community. Okay, let me get the new people into the community. So what I'm going to do right now is welcome. I think we have someone else. Sharon. Is it Sharon? No, that's Sharon. Did I pronounce that right? I'm sorry if I didn't. So what I'm about to do right now is I'm about to grab your email and I'm about to send you an email, but the email is going to come from school. It's going to say school, SKOOL. And then once you get that email, it's going to prompt you to create a profile. Once you click submit, then you will be in the Lab Academy 2.0. So I just sent it to Jason first. So Jason, please check your email and look for something from school. The next person, you say gonna put that back in the chat. Okay, give me 1 second. 2.0. I have to put that right here. Okay. So I just added, did I add Kayla? Let me make sure. No, I didn't add Kayla. Okay, Kayla, please check your email. And then Diane. And then I'm gonna grab, you're welcome. And then I'm gonna grab your business partner from the chat. Give me 1 second. Let me just look for it. There we go. Make sure you tell them to check their email, look for school. There you go. And then let's do one more. There you go. And then welcome to the community, Danisha. Let me go ahead and add this. All right, perfect. So everything has been sent. Please check your email. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to go to the community tab, introduce yourself. I got your email saying I'll respond to that once we're done. Please go to the community tab and you can just go through here and navigate a little bit and then just introduce yourself. And then next thing you want to do is go to the classroom section and then go to start here. Start here is about a 15-20 minute video and it's going to give you an overview, just a little bit more detail than what I just did of the community. The only thing I want to make sure that I put emphasis on is I don't want no one going up in here saying I'm about to watch every single course, watch every single video before I do anything. No. I want you to commit to 1 to 2 things. 1 to 2 things at a time. You do not move forward to the next one until you complete it. So if you're like saying, "Hey, I want to start with the medical courier," I have a medical courier course a little bit more in detail. And then it comes with homework and some checklists and some more stuff. If that is what you want to do, do the medical courier, and then you go right here to the business foundation so you can get your business contract ready. You need to get your business contract ready. Do not come in here. I'm telling you right now, do not come in here and it's telling me, oh, I did the medical courier, I did the medical supply, I did government contracting, I did credit, I did all of this, but you haven't executed. We do not want you, I do not want you just to consume without doing. So you're going to consume, then do, and then do some more, and then consume, then do some more. So make sure you're choosing one to two things to focus in on. A lot of people will not reach their goals because they're trying to do so much at once. So just do one at a time, knock that out, and then go to the next. And you'll feel bomb because you'll be like, oh my gosh, I accomplished so much more. I finished the course, I landed a position, and I'm making money. Then you go to the next thing. Because my goal is for you to start to make money before you move on to the next one. And like, let's just say you start making money as a medical courier. Now you want to start on the business side and do medical supplies. This is medical supplies with the government. This is a 2 hour plus workshop. Don't start this if you don't even have your business contract ready, because you have to have your business contract ready to do anything with the government or private or corporate. So don't just be consuming stuff because you just think that this is information that you need to consume all the time. Hopefully that makes sense. Um, Carlithia says, how often do you offer the Lab Academy 2.0 course? So I believe this is going to be my last week. The next classes I do, I'm just going to be sharing with you all how to get and take the challenge, because I'm doing the challenge February 16th through the 20th. But the greatest thing about it, remember, I think I said this, is that when you join the Lab Academy 2.0, you get a free ticket to the challenge. So you do not have to pay for that. After today or tonight or whatnot, I'm going to be focusing more on the challenge because that is where, we're going to be doing the main bulk of medical courier, medical supplies, government contracting, and like a full 5 day sprint class. That is what I'll be talking about in the upcoming classes on Sundays. But tonight will be the last chance for you to be able to get a discounted ticket. Excuse me, join the community for discounted and get the ticket. Because this is 297 normally, 297 normally, but I'm giving it to you all for 197. And that's really good because the tickets for platinum is 297. And I have some other tickets if you want to join at a smaller investment. If you're like, this is too much, I understand, make some money and then reinvest later. Um, Do you help with starting the business process? I don't have a LLC, EIN, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so let's talk about this in this class before we leave right now. Let me just congratulate Latoya. Welcome to the community. Also, remember is that anything that I'm talking about, the challenge, the upcoming challenge, you're going to get all of the updates in here as well as an email. So once the challenge week gets ready to start, I'm going to post it in here and I'm going to email you. Once the challenge start, the actual classes, times, and the Zoom link is going to be in here. So you'll never have to worry about where's that information. It's so much easier to just have everything in one spot. But Denisha says, do you help with starting a business process? I don't have an LLC and EIN. So I have my business already, but if I sign up with you, is it expensive to go straight to a VA? Cornelius, I need you to explain that. If you want, I can unmute you, but just give me 1 second. Let's talk about how to get your business contract ready in the process. So if we go to the classroom section, that right there, getting your business contract ready, is in two places. In the membership gifts area, because I have a membership gift area, as well as the business foundation. This right here is the checklist. And for everyone that's in the class today, whether you invest in the community or not, I'm going to give you this. Latifa, I have to create a link for Klarna, so give me 1 second. Get contract ready. So everyone that has not got their business contract ready, I just put this in the chat. In the chat, you can open up this link, save it, email it to yourself. And these are the things that needs to be done in order to get your EIN, LLC, business bank account, all of that good stuff. So for anyone that does not have any of this, you're going to start at day one. Excuse me, at point one, number one. Now, if you have some of this and you've already started, just make sure you check to make sure that you have everything, because you do not need to be missing anything from 1 through 9. You got to do 1 through 9. So the first thing I need you to do is I need you to choose your name. This is very important. You do not buy, you do not make flyers, you don't make business cards, you don't do anything before choosing your name. The very next thing is once you choose your name, you need to buy your domain. You buy your domain at Squarespace right here. It used to be Google Domains and now it's Squarespace. You're going to purchase it for I think 12 or $14 for the whole year. That's your www dot name. That's going to be, you want it to be congruent to your business name. Might be off slightly, but you want to do this in the beginning is because don't do like I did. I remember one of the first businesses I created, I chose the name, but I didn't buy the domain. And then I was over there making logos, making business cards, I was making flyers, I was doing everything. And I had to go back and start back at point one and start over is because the domain name was that I had for my name that I chose, the domain name was not available. So I said, I'm not going to be promoting, giving someone else business because when they go Google me, if I say, hey, I'm such and such, I work for this, I mean, this is my company, you're giving business to someone else. So this is why I say choose your name and then immediately buy the domain name. $14. That's it. Then you're going to register your entity with your state website. So you just go on Google, you're going to put your state, and then you're going to put LLC or S Corp. You're just going to put that behind there. If anyone needs assistance, I am putting something together where I create this for you. Jason, yes, you can do Wyoming because I know you can hide your business information, and I think New Hampshire or something. But I am working on something because so many people ask, can I do this for them? And I'm trying to work with a service that can do it on people's behalf because it is a lot for somebody who's never done it. I had to start and it was overwhelming. And then after that, once I figured out the kinks and everything, I was like, I'm making all of our businesses LLCs and S corps. I only didn't do my last two is because I was in a position to pay someone and I said I didn't want to do it. But for everyone that's like short on change and you can just do it yourself, do it yourself. Then you're going to go to irs.gov, get your EIN number. You're going to get your Dun& and Bradstreet number by going to here. Do not pay the $299 to get it expediting. Please do not do that. It's because that is a waste of time, excuse me, of money when you're going to get the Dun& and Bradstreet number regardless. And this is for anyone when it comes time to start building business credit, getting funding, getting loans, getting all that. You need a DNB, which is a Dun& and Bradstreet number. The next thing is you're going to go to NACS lookup code right here and look up your NACS. You can have more than one NACS, but the main NACS that we are all talking about in this class is medical courier. So you will put medical courier in, and then this is your NACS. That's your NACS. The next thing, also let me put this out there. So when you need to be having a working document. So if you have Google, you have Gmail, then you have a drive. So everything that you are getting the information for your business, you need to be inputting it into a working document. One document with all your important business information. This is going to be very helpful for a couple of reasons, but the main reason is when you go register your business on SAM, on your state, on your city, on your county, they're going to ask you all these questions and you don't want to be rambling around talking about where do I go? Where's this at? I need to find this. So you just put everything in one working document and as you're getting new information, update it. Update it. It's done already without paying duns. Came in 2 days. Yep, Jason, see there it goes. They be over there trying to get a bag out of you and there's no need. No need. Okay, so you're gonna be updating your working document with all of this information and anything else that comes up. The next thing that we're going to talk about is your physical address. This is very, 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 very important because so many people just kind of fight me on this. We go back and forth, and you cannot use no virtual address or no PO boxes. You cannot use the post office that says they got a physical address. You can't use Regis. You can't use Opus. A registered agent is something totally different. You can still have a registered agent, but you need to have a physical address. A physical address is going to be either your home address or your brick and mortar address. So this is what we did. Remember, I told you we had an event space. That event space had its own LLC. It had its own physical address because we was on the boulevard. So when we came to register our business with these different sites, the city, the county, the government, all of these things, is that we use our business physical address. Using a registered agent, this is something totally different. You cannot, because they're not going to accept it. I'm telling you right now. All you're going to do is waste time. If you go and do the opposite, when it comes time to register for SAM, they're gonna kick you back. It's because it does not verify. They don't want any type of business that is in a location with other businesses. Like you know how they have those virtual addresses. You got a business in one location. No. If you are trying to figure out if you have a physical location, is answer me this. If you have a leasing agreement, then you can use that address. If you do not have a leasing agreement with every company or whatever you choose, even if it's, I don't care if it's a home, you're gonna have a leasing agreement. Use that. So that right there lets you know if your physical address is the correct address. If you have a lease, it's because Sam is gonna, not all the time, but Sam is gonna ask you for that lease if they can't verify you online. And if you can give them a lease, boom, you're in there. So no PO box and no virtual addresses. The next thing is you want a business phone number and a business email address. You can use these third parties in order for your business phone number. You can take it a step further and even get a 411 number. Your business email address, you're going to go to Google Workspace. Remember, this Google Workspace right here is going to work with your domain. This is going to work together. So, like, let's just say your business is called LB Courier Services. That's your domain, that's your business name. Well, when you go create your email on Google Workspace, you're going to use LB Courier Service as your at. So, you'll put in front info at LB Courier Service, admin at LB Courier Service, um, sales at LB Courier Services. It does not matter, but you just do not want to go in there and be talking about at gmail.com. No. No, please don't. And I see your questions. I'm about to finish answering everyone. I just want to get through this checklist. Congratulations, Mac. Let me just add you. Welcome to the community. What else I have over here? Okay, so we're gonna go back here. And then we're almost done. So this right here, this is just information that you would just add to your document. Like what is your annual revenue? If you're brand new, it's gonna be 0. What's your number of employees? Your executive compensation details, your established date. They're gonna ask you all of this information at one point when you're registered for these sites. It is so much easier to just put it all on your working document and then have your working document once you're applying and registering your business on these sites. The last thing is get your business bank account. You're going to need that. Even when you register for SAM, they're going to ask you for your business bank account information because that's how you're going to get paid. That's how you're going to get paid for whether you have a service that you bidded on and won or a product that you bidded and won. 10 is kind of, it just depends on what avenue you go through because you might need extra certifications. So I just put this as possible, but it's not mandatory that everyone will need this. This is usually case by case. Then once you have 1 through 9, then you're going to go to number 11 and go to sam.gov and you're going to get started and register. You're going to get started and register. While you are waiting for your cage code, because that's part of registering, you're gonna register. They're gonna give you a cage code and a UEI number. While you are waiting for that, because that can take you anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks, you're going to register with your state or states or counties or cities. It does not matter. I just need you to do at least one. Reason being is because like right now, I can't bid on anything Sam is because I'm restricted. I'm restricted. I went through re-registration and they're not re-registering me. So that means I can't bid on Sam. Now, what about if I only had Sam? I'm also registered in a bunch of other different states. So you want to make sure that you at least register for 2. 3 is cool, but at least 2. Don't just do one. How do you find these state sites? Where you're going to go to Google. and you're going to put in, let's just say you're in California. Doesn't matter what state you're in, you're going to do the exact same thing. So you're in California, then you're going to put the word bids in. If you're in Texas, you're going to put the word Texas bids in. If you're looking for a county, you're going to put Los Angeles County bids. And you're just going to do that with every single city, state, or county that you want to bid on and actually be registered so you can bid on. So you go to the first one right here, because I already know. Um, you're going to go, let me move my face. Right here it says log in, register. You're going to log in and register. California and like a handful of other states allow you to certify as a small business right here. So if you're in California, you're going to register and then you're going to go right here and do your small business certification. Again, this does not apply for every single state. It's only about 3 to 5 states that allow you to register as a small business on a state level. The other level is on a federal level. You can still register for your minority, your woman owned, and all that on a federal. Right now, we're talking about small business only on a state level. So if you are seeing that on whatever state that you are choosing to register, go ahead and register, and then do this as well. The reason why I'm telling everyone to do state first than going to county and the city is because there's more opportunities on a state level. You can see right here for the state of California, it's almost 400 different active contracts. 400. When you go in on a state, excuse me, on a city and county, it may be less than 10. And you would need to ask yourself, is it even worth you going through this full registration and doing all of this um, just for something that you might not even want to bid on and it's only 10? Here, there's always opportunities that drop every single day on a state level. So this is what I need you to do on right here is register for your state. Now, the reason why I had you skip 12 is because your cage code is a prerequisite to DIBS. DIBS is not going to let you to register unless you have a cage code. That's the first thing when you go register for DIBS. They're going to say cage code. You got to have a cage code. So this is why I have you skip 12 and go straight to 13. Once your cage code come, then you can register for DIBS. Why would you want to register for DIBS? Remember Christina that won 49 medical supply contracts? She won them on DIBS. So this is how it works. SAM.gov has service and product. That means they got medical courier and medical supplies in every other category. DIBS just has product, no services. Now, it's not to say that you have to have both, but I have known and seen that SAM is a different criteria and a different bidding platform than DIBS. DIBS is strictly the exact same way all the time. With SAM, you need to read the solicitation and follow the instructions that they tell you on how to submit and what is included. With DIBS, it's the same way every single time because it's a bidding platform. So in some instances, it's easier for some to get in a contract as a medical supply over a medical courier that is on SAM. But to me, it just all depends on preference. It all depends on how consistent you are. You win on both avenues. Christina, she's won medical supplies, and then she's also won state contracts. So you have an opportunity to go in multiple different areas. So this is your get government or get contract ready. Even if you don't want to get government contracts, you still need to get your business contract ready. So you can go after private business to business contracts, and anything else like corporate as well. So I'm sorry, I went a little bit longer than I expected, but I see your questions. All right, so let's get back into it. I need to work on Klarna as well, and I'm about to do that. The lab, okay, Academy 2.0. Okay, so I'm about to put this in the chat again, the Lab Academy 2.0, in the chat. Catherine said it's DIBS only in California. No, DIBS is all over the USA. SAM is all over the USA. When you register for DIBS or SAM, that's federal. So that means once you register your business, you have now the opportunity to go through all the different states that's on that site and bid and win. Now, if you are registering on a state level, you have to register to every single state because that's not federal. So let's just say, well, I'm gonna use me for an example. I was registered for, or am registered, but I'm going through re-registration for SAM and DIBS. That means I can look at contracts on a federal level and I can bid on them and win them. Then I also registered for the state of California, the state of Texas, the state of Florida, and the state of Georgia. That means I can now do business in those four states on that level, not a federal, but on a state level. So just know that once you register for SAM or DIBS, you just need to go to registration one time for the whole year. You can look at everything under the USA and even in some other countries. But state, if you're registered on the state level, you got to get in the state level and then go ahead and register for each state. Okay, Kenneth. Okay, I just dropped the link for business bank, just account number. So for your business bank, yes. For Jason, yes. You just need your business account number and your routing number. They're gonna want accounting and your routing number. I have a business I formed in 2020. But I never used it. How can I check to see what next number or do I just use the same one you just showed me? So, Latifa, you're gonna have to go on because we need to make sure it's still active. So I want you to go on, where did I go? Because I just needed to see if mine, I knew it was active, but I needed the screenshot to show proof. So if you go to Secretary of State, or put in LLC, if you have an LLC, information, and then you put your state, it's going to be a Google site that comes up where you can be able to input your information to see if your information, your business site is still active. It's because I don't want to tell you to use your old one and it's null and void, you know? But if you already have started to create some type of history on that business entity setup, then I would say just use it. But I'm most tell me what type of business it is because depending on what it is, I might just tell you to create a brand new one, even if it's active or not. Kalila says, can you use an apartment address that you're renting from? Most definitely, yes. Odin says, do you have recommendations on the company you use? Are you talking about for your physical address? No, there's no company that you can use. That's the problem. People are using these companies and they're not physical addresses. The government wants to be able to where if they go put your address, your location into Google and it shows up that it is a location that's an office that has multiple businesses, they're going to deny you. They're going to deny you. So they want to make sure that it's owned by you or leased by you or rented by you and only you and your name and your business. And how they verify that? By asking for a leasing agreement. Um, Latifa, what about Klarna? Okay, I'm about to work on that next. So I have my business already, but if I sign up with you, is it expensive to go straight to a VA? Now, Cornelius, are you still in the room? I want to bring you up. Cornelius, can you unmute?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Hey, how's it going?
It's good. It's good. I was basically asking about the because I wanted to go straight to or know what I need to do to go straight to hiring a virtual assistant. Because I'm trying to manage, a still a 9 to 5, but I kind of want to set this up to run for itself, something like that.
So I highly suggest that you do that. Only reason I tell you not to, if you're just gonna stay in the medical courier driving with your car, I'm like, you don't need a VA to do that. But since you already have an active a business and then you're like, hey, I'm starting this one, yes, you can go straight to VA. You go straight and hire someone, train someone to run every aspect that you just don't want to. One thing I will say is that um it's all about how you hiring your VAs and what are you putting on the application
Mm-hmm.
to submit. It's because Online Jobs PH, that's the site that you are going to use because they're from the Philippines. There's going to be a ton of different people that reach out to you and say they want to work, but you have to decipher through them. So I want to say the biggest thing that I do share inside the community, along with some other stuff, is that when you are creating your application or your description, I should say, here, and this goes for everybody in the class. I want to go here, is that you need to make sure that when you are hiring, you're putting the information that is most important at the top, and you tell in the middle what it is that you want them to do. Is because this is how I was able to reduce a high turnover rate. So these three things right here seem so simple, but this will make or break you.
Okay.
Is you need to tell them that I put this at the top and at the bottom, is that they need to submit an updated resume and they need to provide me a 2 to 3 minute video. A lot of them be on some scamming stuff. Not all, just some. And they'll be like, "Oh, let's do I'll get on a phone call with you." No. Cause then you could do AI stuff. You could do, I don't know what you can do all the way, but I just know that I want you to make a 2 to 3 minute video and send it to me. Then I also want you to share all your sample work. Even if you can't do exactly that I need you to do because I'm gonna have to train you, I need you to show me what you have done and what you can do. And then after that, when I go through the interview process, they have to be on Zoom. I don't do no interview on without Zoom. I gotta see the white in your eye. 9 times out of 10, if you get in on a Zoom call with me, I already know if I'm gonna hire you or not. I already know you if I'm gonna hire you or not. The next
Okay.
thing is what's in here in this checklist is just sharing with you how I have them clocking in and out, how we're using LastPass. And I'm gonna create a video because I think a video will be helpful in order to support these things. So you don't want to share your password. You're gonna use something called LastPass. I don't know if you heard of it. And basically I'm able to put all my passwords in there and I can make them to where it's accessible for the VA, but they can't view it. I automatically can give them access. So she has Instagram access, Facebook, my Go High Level. That's where I make my websites, my funnels, everything on there. Anything you can think of, she has it, but it's through LastPass. I talk about how you're going to build your SOPs. A lot of time I was firing people and I thought it was them, but it was me on how I was explaining. Um, because even though the Philippines is not a it's not a language barrier, they don't know what you're doing in your business. So trying to communicate with them via phone, text. No, I make sure I do Loom videos, LOOM, to where you can screen record your laptop and your voice will pick up and you can share with them um play by play. I use Slack to communicate and it's all in here, but it's broken down. I give bonuses. I just do certain things to make sure that the VA knows that I appreciate them and they know that and vice versa. I pay my VA $7 an hour. You can start off at 4 or 5 or 6 dollars, but I knew that I wanted quality. And I said I had high expectations and I wanted them to know I'm going to pay you good, but I'm going to also be requiring, more than just, mediocre, average and above. But yes, get you a VA and work them however you need because my VA helps me with all my businesses. All of them, even my coaching businesses. She's the bomb. Okay, so let me go. Dr. Eric online jobs.ph. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, let me get you Denisha. Did I say that right? Let me see again. Denisha. Did I say that right? Denisha. Okay, let me add you to the community. And then I'm gonna work on a Klarna next. Then I'm gonna work on Klarna next. Because uh I have to do that and strike. Okay. Dinesha? Second way is correct. I think I said Dinesha. You're welcome, Catherine. I want everybody to be great, and I want you all to be able to have everything that you need in order to get this business off the ground. Okay, let me work on this in the background while STRP Stripe. Did everyone get in that invested? I'm just gonna go easy and just okay. Let me see any other questions while I'm doing this. With the Academy, we have an LLC partnership with 3 people. When signing up under my name, can either of us have access to the community and your mentorship? How does that work? Kenneth, if you have people that is a part of your team, um, let me know and I'll add them. Yeah, let me know and I'll add them. Okay, payment link. All right, next thing is okay, Jason says I have a gift for clarity. I do. I be sometimes feeling like I don't be doing good enough. Okay. All right, let me copy this URL. Let me make sure it's correct. Okay. So, for anyone, hey, let me change this. But for anyone, this is the 197, what we're just talking about, and then you can be able to use Klarna, Afterpay, and Affirm. It has a couple of more than this one right here. So I'm gonna put this one in the chat right now. Lab Academy 2.0. So that's in the chat. Okay, let's get back into it. That was not a compliment, merely facts. Okay, thank you, Jason. Facts. Okay. Afterpay, please. Dr. Eric. Okay, I just put it in the chat. It's the one that says Stripe by Stripe. Sonia says, I realize you never seen my question. I didn't, Sonia. Here, let me bring you up. Okay, Sonia, can you unmute? You have the floor.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Lee, I've been asking some questions, but like I said, I realized you never seen them because you never read anything and say anything about them. Um, I would like to know since I'm brand new to this, and this is the first time I'm hearing about it, and I'm glad that I take the class. I messaged you yesterday on Instagram. I don't know if you remember.
Okay, I'm gonna
Um,
be honest with you. I didn't see it. I be having way too many messages. I'm sorry.
all right. No, that's okay. So my question is, you said that, give me a second because I wrote it somewhere.
Okay.
Okay, my question is, if I take the, first of all, where can I take the class? So can I take the class just online? Let's say I'm interested in the medical career. So can I take the class online? And the second question is, if I take the class, you also said you need some type of experience to apply in order to get job. So if I take the class and I don't have any experience, do you think I will be able to find job regardless?
So yes and yes, because I I believe that we all have the experience when you got paid or not. So what I usually tell people to do is first I ask them, have you picked up food and delivered it to your child, to your partner, to your mom? Have you taken your family to the doctor? Have you went and got prescriptions filled at Walgreens or Rite Aid or CVS? And if you have a yes to all those questions I asked, then I said I'll tell you to go through Chat GPT. Here, let's do a quick one real fast. Chat GPT, you could do this on a free version. I say get the paid version when we're doing like government contracting and writing proposals. So I can just go in here and say, I want a medical courier position, and I want to use my experience. And I'm just going to start naming the things that I've done. I say, I've delivered food and prescriptions to clients, because I'm not going to say family, I'm going to say clients. I've transported patients to medical facilities. Um, what else? I have great customer service. And you could probably add one more, but that's enough for right now. And chat will help you with that. Now, granted, you may not have got paid for it, but you did that. And so this is some examples. A reliable detail, hold on, let me move this stuff because I can't see off my screen. Okay, reliable and detail-oriented courier with hands-on experience delivering prescriptions and food to clients, transporting patients to medical facilities, providing exceptional customer service, proven ability to handle time-sensitive deliveries, interact professionally with patients and healthcare staff, and maintain confidentiality, known for punctual and clear communication and client satisfaction. If you have Uber, you got Lyft, you got DoorDash, you have Spark. These are all apps, delivery apps or whatnot. Use that as well. When I first started, I had zero medical courier experience, but I had independent contracting and courier experience. So I used that. That's how I was able to get mine. But for you all that don't even have that, this is what I would do. I will go through chat, tell chat what it is that I'm looking for, and just be very detailed and clear with chat. Do not be vague because chat gonna give you vague answers. And then if you don't like it, you don't like the tone, I'll go in here and tell them to change the tone, remove this, remove that. But all you need is 2 or 3 lines. Deliver prescription and essential items to clients in a timely and professional manner. Follow delivery protocols, verify recipients, and then a lot of times what I tell people to do is put the company that you are going to be creating or starting to create or already have. You verify yourself. You know how many times I verify myself? I know people probably disagree, but I have a business line, I have a personal line. When I was applying for medical courier work, I was applying in my personal line and personal information. When I put my experience, because I was later updating my resume once I did started working as a medical courier, but I wanted bigger and better positions, I will verify from my business phone number, this number, and I would just verify that yes, I worked there. Mm-hmm. And I was getting positions. So that is what I did. I don't want anyone to overcomplicate it. Put your experience on here and then put it from the actual business that you intend to create. Put that as a name. How long you've been there, at least a year. But that is what I would do if you don't have any experience that's paid and working for a company.
So even though you never done any DoorDash or Uber, anything
You did. You take care of your family.
like that?
You did. You took care of your family.
Okay.
You do it every day.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay. And that goes for
So,
everybody. Oh, go ahead.
okay, I'm sorry. The other one was the other question was for okay, for the class, right? The for the BBP class, if I want to do it, so do I have to take the class with you? Of course, because I'm gonna join the community, but I would love to know if I can take the class separate and then after join you so I can be ready to start with my career and with it. If
Yes,
that
so
makes
the class, so there's two classes. There's two, like it's a course, then there's a live class. So let's say you don't join the community tonight. Everything I told you in class today is applied for you to go get a opportunity in your car. You don't need me for that. You just need to be consistent, and that's it, and that's all. Now, if you are saying, hey, I want to do that in addition to the business side, and you want a little more mentorship, you want a more accountability, then that's when this Lab Academy comes in at. So you can be able to answer your questions, join the Zoom calls, and then also I do have some trainings for medical courier. Now, next month, I have a live class. If you are going to get started today and, like, let's say join the community, I will want you to start working on your business foundation. And this goes for everyone. So, about time the live 5 day class starts next month, February 16th to the 20th, you'll be able to go along with everything that I'm doing every single day. Because a lot of the times people lag or have to take the class, but then have to rewatch the class in a couple of weeks because this is not correct. You are not going to be able to bid on anything if your business is not contract ready. If you're not even registered with SAM or the state or whatnot. So when I'm going through each and every day, it'll be a live class. So you can start today applying with stuff for your vehicle, work on your business foundation, which is getting your business contract ready. And then when class comes next month, you'll be ready because we're going full medical courier, medical supplies, government contracting, as well as digital. I haven't talked too much about this, which I will talk about in the challenge, but I'm an advocate of you doing your business, you making money in your business, but also each one teach one. Sharing it with someone else, what your experience is, how you can help them or whatnot. So I'm going to be having you all in in the 5 day challenge is showing you how to turn everything that you are already doing and the progress that you're making into some type of digital income. I'm also going to give the people, I haven't said this yet, this is bonus, I wasn't going to say, is I'm giving you all an editable medical courier ebook. The goal is for you to do everything that I'm telling you to do. Once you do it, you're actually doing what my ebook is designed to do. So it's not like you're lying, because that's one thing I don't like to do. I don't like people are promoting what it is that they're doing, quote unquote, and they're not doing it. So if you're already doing it and you're doing the steps I'm telling you, all you need to do is do a small little rebranding. The words and information is all the same, and you can go out there and sell your digital. And the goal is for you to make money in your business and in digital. Even though I told you all I was making 8,500 plus as a medical courier, that is correct. But as a digital, I was doing anywhere from 5 to 8K on the digital side. Altogether, I turned an $8,500 month to a $15,000 month at times. So that is something else that I'm going to be giving you all. But I don't like to talk about it because I don't want to overwhelm people or discourage them. It really doesn't matter, but I like to give it to people in doses. But that 5 day challenge is going to teach you how to start and scale the medical courier, medical supply business, and everything that you need, as well as the digital. And then if you join the community, then you will have mentorship going on twice a month, because it's not a matter if you're going to want to ask questions, need assistance, just because things come up that I can't say in the full 5 days that may happen or may not happen. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you so much,
You're welcome. It was that Sonia, right?
Sonia.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us today.
Of course.
Congratulations, Catherine, for getting into the community. Let me move this alone. Oops, not that. Let's move this. I need a bigger screen. Okay, so we got that. Catherine, welcome to the community. Then I think I seen someone else. I did. I'm gonna have to look over here. Okay, let me go here. Okay. Congratulations. I don't see a name. Who is this? All I have is an email. I guess that's good enough. Um, give me one second. Okay, so I have two congratulations. I'm just gonna say the email. Quint, Quint and higher level. Give me one second. I'm about to add you all to the community. So I have Quint. And then I have one more. Congrats, congrats. Also, I didn't say this. I have an opportunity where you can earn while you learn while you earn. So if you have someone that you want to refer to the community, if you go to the affiliate program, you're able to refer the community and receive 30%. I think I changed it to 40%, but it's at least 30%. And so what you do is for everyone who just joined, and let's say you want to refer someone to the community and you can make a referral fee, you go to your face right here and then you go to affiliates and every single person has their own link. So when you refer people and they pay the 297, you're going to get 30% of that. So this is how you do it. You'll see a bunch of affiliates right here. Right here, you go to Lab Academy 2.0. You will copy this. I can't give you mines because if I give you mines and you refer people, then I'm going to get the referral. So remember, everybody has their own. And that way you are able to make some money at the same time while giving people, another avenue for them to be able to create and expand on their business. And I want to make sure, yeah, it's at 40%. So it's not even 30%. I changed it. It's at 40%. So let me change it right here. Oh, it is changed right here, but it's not changed right here. Hmm. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. So you will be receiving like 100 and almost $20. I'm just gonna put 115 per person you refer. So I forgot to add that. Okay, let's get back into it. I think I've seen some more questions. Excuse me. Patrick says, I have a question. That's you, Kenneth. Awesome. Welcome to the community. Um, Kenneth, go ahead and drop them in the chat right now. I need their emails so I can add them, please. And then Richard, awesome. Welcome to the community. Give me 1 second. Patrick, let me bring you up. Okay, go ahead and unmute Patrick.
Hey, Layla, thanks for the awesome training.
Oh, you're welcome.
So my question is, I guess what's the difference between signing up with apps as opposed to like approaching hospitals or clinics like directly?
More so just consistency and direct hiring. Apps can be a little bit like all over the places because if you're not signed in at the right time, you may not get a whole bunch of work. If you're not in an exact area that is popping, you might not get a whole bunch of them. That's why I like to have multiple different apps. But with an actual contract, you know that this is your contract. If you are saying like, hey, and you signed up and you're like, I'm working this date to this date and these hours, it's just more consistency and a committed route versus you just turn on the app and taking whatever. I don't think one is better than the other. I like both. But I do think that you should do both. You shouldn't just be like, I'm only gonna do one. No.
Okay. Okay. So I guess do you help with that? Like um help with like creating, I guess, like like a pricing list and so forth to approach clinics and hospitals and labs?
Yeah, let me see where it's at in the community. All right here. So if you go to membership gifts right here, click here and you go all the way down to the price sheet. I have a price sheet in here for you guys. So it is a sample. I do want everyone to know that depending on your state, you may go a little higher, a little lower, just, it happens. Because if you're in a rural, southern state, you're not going to charge the same amount of, dollars that I would in California. So just want to keep that in mind. But this is a base. So let's say you're approaching hospitals directly, and they ask you for a price sheet. This is something that you would give them. It outlines what it is per miles on under 5, 6 to 10, and so on and so forth. If they fit in one of these categories and they still go over a few miles, then you need to charge them an additional miles that is beyond the 100 miles.
Okay.
Additional stops, rush delivery, after hours, holiday, temperature controlled. A lot of the blue and green bags for medical specimens, they usually have dry ice or whatnot to keep the blood, fresh or whatnot, so it doesn't spoil and not interfere with the testing. So if they want you to have a temperature control bag, that's an extra fee. If it's something hazardous, that's another fee. If they're late, by more than 15 minutes, you charge them this. So I just have a base price sheet for you to be able to send out. And it's not just to direct hospitals as well. It's also because I do suggest you all creating flyers. And this is for people who want to get local contracts with their car, even if they're going to hire people, is that you want to create a flyer, even if you can do a little bit of ads, because I can help you with that. I've been running Google Ads in order to get more local reach. But there is medical courier and courier opportunities that are not just at the hospital. And these are just some of the things that I'll have you do in addition to. It's not required, but it's to maximize you getting a contract by getting local courier routes as well as, of course, hospitals, clinics, and pharmacies. But this is your price sheet. So that is inside the community already. I tried to have it to where I put as much as I can in here for one price, and you get multiple areas of value that you can go into. Whether you want to go hire drivers, go into government contracting, or you want to just drive yourself. But you have a starting point no matter where you want to start at.
I appreciate you answering my questions. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Uh, okay, let's go back. Okay, Kenneth. Shavante, let me see. I think so. Let me see. Let me look over here. Transactions. Shavante, welcome to the community. It did go through. Welcome, sis. And let me add you right now. And then I've got you, Kenneth. Um, Jason said, should I still stay afterwards? What did I say I was gonna do? I don't remember. It's too many. It's too many. Okay, so Kenneth, you gave me here, I'm about to unmute you. Let's talk for a second. Um, please. Kenneth, can you unmute, please?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Layla?
Good, good. How about yourself?
Doing great, thank God.
Awesome. So I'm looking in the chat, and so all of these emails are the same, right?
Yeah, yes, and we're the same LLC for these three people, myself and two others, Charles Thomas and Eric Cave.
Okay, so I thought you were giving me new emails. So are you in the community yet?
I think I am. I just joined, and I don't know if it was automatic or what.
You have to look. Okay, so for everyone, look for an email from school, SKOOL, and then you're going to set up your profile. Once you set up your profile, you're going to click submit, and then you'll be in this community. Now, for you, Kenneth, once you are in this community and you set up your password and everything, you can just share that with them. If you want them to have their own password, and their own login, I need a totally different email. Because if it's the same email, then y'all could just all log in the same. And then when you have questions, you could just be like, hey, this is Charles asking, or Kenneth or Eric or whatnot. But y'all
Oh,
should
great.
all log in under the same one.
Okay, that's much easier. Thank you.
Yes, sir. You're welcome. And also, if you're on the desktop, well, first off, I would rather you sign up using your phone because sometimes the desktop acts weird. So you sign up, once you see that school email, go ahead and sign up on your phone. Once you're signed up, then you can go into the desktop and now see all of the community what you see right here. And then whether you are on iPhone or Android, you can download the school app, and once you get the school app, you can log in from your phone, from your iPad with the same email and log in. So you can go on all of them, website, iPad, and phone.
Sounds good. That's perfect.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Um, okay, I got you, Shavante. Latifa says, I signed up. Should I look for an email? Yes, everyone who signed up, um, you need to be in this community before we get off. I'm not getting off until everyone is in the community. I want you to go over to the community tab once you're in there, introduce yourself, and then familiarize yourself by watching the start here. But you need to look for an email from school, SKOOL. Um, do you teach model how to stack and plan routes using so many different apps to stay organized and efficient? Kalila asks. So it's not really a teach thing. It's more so about organizing, and don't overextend yourself by over committing. So at all times, my main priority is my medical courier routes or courier routes. Those routes are my main priority. I'm never going to take an app over a route when I have to go deliver the route. So what the apps do is they fill in. So for me, let me walk you through a day. So I would go to LA, go to the hospital, and I will pick up all of the bags that I would need. Then I would have to go to another hospital like 15 minutes away. Then after I go to that hospital, I had to go to Long Beach, which was about 30, 45 minutes away. On the way from LA to Long Beach, because I knew I had to wait for this other person to come from Loma Linda to Long Beach, I knew that once I got to my Long Beach route, I had to wait sometimes 45 minutes to an hour and a half. So I would take the time that I would have going from LA to Long Beach because I know they're going to be waiting on me to get I have to wait on them to get to Long Beach. I'm going to turn on apps. I'm only going to accept things that's going that way. And then on top of that, that pays the best. So I may turn on all three or four apps. If I find something, cool. If I don't, even better. But I don't like to sit there and say, I'm going to take any app in any direction just to make my money. No, my priority is my main routes. Now, there may be times where you're running a route and you can't take no apps, but then you'll have dead time afterwards. Because a lot of times I used to have routes that would be in the morning and in the evening. And in the middle, I didn't have anything to do. So that's when the apps would get turned on. So it's no huge system that I use. It's just based off of my own contract and am I can actually fulfill this app and enough time to still make sure my main medical courier route is on time. So I make sure that medical courier or courier actual routes that I got hired with, those are my priority. Apps is just before, after, or in the middle. And so like for me, a lot of times my route will end at 5 or 6 o'clock for my PM route. These are my main route because I'm in LA and then I know going from LA to Riverside, leaving at 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening is going to take 3 to 4 hours, no lie, because that's how much traffic we have to go from LA to Riverside County. Then I would just turn on apps. Most of the time, I'll work until 8 or 9 p.m. because my last main medical courier route is at 5 or 6. I'll turn on apps the rest of the 3 or 4 hours so I can make money without having to sit in traffic just to go home. And if I wait till 8 or 9 p.m., it's the traffic is down and now it only takes me an hour to get home, an hour and 25 minutes. So that is how I use the apps based off of what works for me. You might be different or anyone else might be different because location matters. How much time you got in between. If you don't have at least a good 30 to 45 minutes in order to play around while you're waiting on your next route, then I wouldn't say open up your apps. Do not turn on the apps because you don't never want to get fired or let go because you're chasing app money when the medical courier and courier, those are your main routes. That's my priority. Hopefully that makes sense. Jason said me either. If I remember, I will say something. Gratitude. I've seen several people offer info about medical courier, but you're the first to give so much about other businesses as well. I want to dibble and dabble in multiple avenues. Thank you, Shavante. I try to be the difference, and then on top of that, I try to offer things that I will want. It's because there were so many times, so many years that I was in all your positions, and I was like, oh, I wish they would do this. Oh, I don't like that. So I told myself, if I'm ever in a position, I'm going to present something that not just what someone else would like and benefit from, but more so what I would like and benefit from. A lot of time we're in the beginning, you don't have much money in order to invest in some new knowledge, some new info. And just quite frankly, there is mentors out there that charges an arm and a leg. And some will say, well, that's for higher tier. Well, what about the people that are just getting started? Some people have to get started, start to learn, make money before they can go to that next tier. And I feel like that's where I come in at. And I try to be something that I didn't get at times because it was a struggle. You know, it's just a struggle and trying to figure out who's real and who's not and who's genuine. Shoot, I still go through it with partnerships. I'm not going to say too much more, but I go through it with partnerships because you just don't know sometimes. Uh, Danisha says, I agree with Shavante, which is why I signed up. Thank you, love. For the one-on-one mentorship, do you get access to the school? Sin act. So for the one-on-one, you're going to get access to another school community. So the Lab Academy 2.0 is probably like my beginner and mid. For the more one-on-one or small groups, I would say, that is the medical contracting mastery. I normally don't like to mix mastery with Lab Academy 2.0. It's because if you are ready to go to the next level, which is medical contracting mastery, you have to get approved first. So I have to make sure that you are contract ready, and ready to do any type of one-on-one or done with you, done for you. But it is another whole school community, with the classroom, with training, with calls as well, and everything we have in the Lab Academy 2.0 before the one-on-one individuals. Um, Let me go back. All right, so you're welcome, Kalila. I can say enough about your generosity. May God bless you. Thank you. Thank you, Catherine. Much appreciated. I got you, sis. Okay, so my question is, did everyone who signed up, first, welcome to the community again. Everyone that signed up, are you inside the Lab Academy 2.0? If you are not inside the Lab Academy 2.0, drop your email so I can send you another email. And then from there, you're going to check your email for SKOOL for school. Once you receive that email from school, then you're going to sign up, name, email, and password, all that info, and then you're in the community. The next step, Jason says, I think so. Check, please. What is your email, Jason? Marcus. Marcus. Let me let's see. Give me 1 second. All right, so this is the email. Let me put this over here. Okay, Marcus, did you I can't find you. I can't find you, Marcus. What email did you use to pay for the Lab Academy 2.0? Um, Sherwin, you guys are just throwing me these names. Okay, so I'm not finding these. So the Lab Academy 2.0 is not free. That is not free. And I think, yeah, I don't see Sherwin. Um, Jason, if you purchase, I need to get your email because unless you use J. Patrick or Patrice Couriers to sign up, I won't be able to find you. So can you give me your email? Marcus says, sorry, I haven't paid yet. Probably won't see me there yet. Okay, got you. Um, I gave it a look up. Let me see if I can just look up in the member section. It's just your name. Catherine, you're in here. Sharon, Jason, you're in here. I see you. Kenneth is in here. Shabante, Latifa, Danisha, Diane, Latoya, um, Danisha, and Kayla, and I think that's it. Got you, Sherwin. Okay, so for everyone that have not purchased yet, you have until tonight, in order for you to get the $100 off. You can pay whenever you want, other than tonight, but it will be 297. So the community is 297, what you see right here. Up until midnight, I'm giving everyone $100 off. After midnight, it goes back to 297. And remember, you get the community plus you get a free ticket to the next challenge, the 5-day medical money challenge. Got you, got you. Any other questions? Any other questions? I hope you all got a lot from the free side of the class. I really hope and pray that you take initiative because it really does work. Everything I taught in the class is full of value and it really does work. That is how I was able to land my first, my second, my third, my fourth contract with my car. That is how I was making $8,500 plus a month. The only reason why I do not drive like I used to is because I don't want to drive anymore. Now I have the business side. Now I can focus on getting contracts, getting subcontracting opportunities, you know, adding the other certificates that I got, like the DNA, like the first aid, like the ink fingerprinting. I am adding all of these as well. But I don't want to scare you all. Just start with the medical courier and then add all those different things, you know, as you're growing, as you're growing. Um, for the Sonia says for the bloodborne pathogen. So I'm gonna drop this again. I gave a list on where you're gonna get the certifications from, Sonia. I'm gonna drop it again. So, so I'm gonna drop it right here for the bloodborne pathogen. Tip bucket. There we go. Okay, so that is the certification checklist right here. If you're looking to get your blood-borne pathogen, then you're going to go to the Red Cross or the American Heart Association. This is HIPAA, this is OSHA, this is DOT, this is TWIC, this is more blood-borne pathogen, BLS, hazardous material like DOT, hazmat school. I just put extra stuff, but some of that stuff at the bottom doesn't apply to us medical couriers. I have the HIPAA OSHA certification. Is that good to start off with? Yes, ma'am. That is perfect. What's the difference between TWIC and TSA? It's based off of what the company is requiring you to do. I can't sit there and say exactly what is the difference because I haven't got a TWIC nor a TSA because every medical courier and courier opportunity that I have had, I've worked with, they were able to just use what I had, which was the HIPAA and the bloodborne pathogen. That's it. I didn't get no opportunities, and then there were some, but I just moved on. I just said I don't want to do that because I was able to make that bag. I'm telling you all with just those two certifications. I don't get other certifications if it needs to be a need or I'm going after a specific contract and they're asking me for it. I don't just be like, I'm gonna get this certification, just to get this certification. No, it has to make sense. Because sometimes those certifications cost money. And if I'm not going to get a return, I'm not going to invest in it. What's the name on the phone app for the community? School, SKOOL. Once you're in the school, you're going to go to skool.com and then you're going to log in. It's not going to let me do it because I'm logged in, but you're going to go to skool.com in order to look for the community, you're going to have to sign in. Once you sign into school, you see this right here, then it'll show if you have more than one community, it'll show here. But if you just have one, it'll just show one. These are all my communities, my own that I've created, plus others that I've joined. Um, If you hire a driver, do you pay them 85 based on the price list? So curb, it kind of depends on the contract. I like to, pay anywhere from, 75 to 85% of the contract, but it also depends on what the contract is. What it is that the need is for, how many hours, how many miles, and then how much is the total. Because let's just say, for example, I negotiated and they want to pay me only $200 a day in order to run the contract. Well, I might not abide by that 85/15 because $200 is not much wiggle room for me to make a profit and also for them to make a profit and then stay. Because I don't just say, oh, I'm just going to pay you 85%. What if 85% is disrespectful pay? Because I didn't negotiate that contract right. So therefore I don't want to just say automatically I only pay do a 85/15 per split. It kind of just depends on the contract in itself and what I negotiated. Because if I didn't do a good job, I'm not going to take the full 15%. If I did a great job, I might even take the 20%, the 20 or 25% because I got a bigger valued contract. Hopefully that makes sense. Samuel says more than a lot. Thank you very much. You're welcome, sir. Sonia, I just put that in the chat for the bloodborne pathogen. I'm full. Such great information. Awesome, Catherine. Thank you. You're welcome, Latifa. Do you also give the verification? Sonia, what do you mean when you say verification? Most likely I don't. But I just want to know exactly what you mean when you say verification. And I didn't see where to put the password, although I'm in the community. Kenneth Gill. Well, you've already, so what you need to do is if you say you're already in the community, then you need to go to skool.com. Here, let me log out. Let me log out. All right. So this is what you need to do. When you go to skool.com/login, you're going to have this right here. You're going to put your email in that you use when you signed up, or the email that you gave me. You're gonna put that in there. You should have already created your password, and you're just gonna click login, and then boom, you're in the community. The community will be right here. If you're like, I don't remember what password I just made, then do a lost password. Um, gotcha. Thank you. Makes sense. You're welcome. You're welcome, Keisha. You're welcome, Sonia. Cool, cool, cool. Everyone's in the community that purchased. Let me know now if you've purchased and you're not in the community, put your email in. For everyone else that did not get into the community, you still have something to do. You still have work to do. That means I want you to start by making a plan. Making a plan on what your next week, this upcoming week is going to be. I want you to write down some to-do list things. One being update your resume, get certified, whether it's HIPAA and bloodborne pathogen if you haven't already done that. And then you need to go ahead and upload your updated resume to Indeed.com and as well as ZipRecruiter.com. You want to go over here to your account and your profile, and you want to add your resume in here. I've added mine. Mine's always change. Depends on what I'm trying to get and do. So once you've done that, uploaded it, and you start putting in a search engine, search keywords, I want you to start applying. The greatest thing about it, when you are an apply, you see easy apply, you just click apply. My resume, my information is all in here. They want me to answer these questions. I'm gonna click continue. It's gonna review all of my information, including my resume, my resume, and then submit. This is why I tell everyone 25 to 40 a day is not hard. If people tell me it is, you're lazy. Sorry. But you are, because this takes literally 30 seconds. 30 seconds once your resume is uploaded to apply. You can knock out 25 of these in about 15 minutes max. So that is your homework for everyone else. Especially if you say that you're committed, and especially if you say that this is what you want to do. Remember, consistency, consistency, and you got to be consistent some more, especially if this is what you want to do. If you want to do this, show up every single day and apply, apply, apply. And for everyone else, even if you didn't get into the community and you still want to do the business side, you need to be doing your getting your business contract ready. That is no negotiating. You have to have your business contract ready. Because these businesses, these companies are not going to take you serious if you didn't take yourself serious by making sure that you are fully legit. All your T's and I's is dotted and crossed. What's your email? I need to email you. Okay, it's info. I'm going to put this in the chat. But it's info@labgroupinc.com. And it's in the chat. I'm sorry I had to jump off momentarily. Can you say again where to go to set up a password on my laptop? So Kenneth, you're already in the community. So it must mean that you already set up a password. But if you don't remember what you did, this is what you're gonna do. So let me log out. Let me log out. So you're going to go to school.com because it shows that you're already in the community. So that lets me know that you have your email and you created a password. So if you are here and you know your email but don't know your password, you're going to go to forget password. And they're going to send the information to the whatever email that you used when you signed up. And then you'll be able to reset it via your email because you're already in here. If I can see you, that means you already did and set up your password. Got it? Kenneth? You good? So yeah, everybody work on that. And also, if you haven't already, write down a why. What is your why? And not just one thing. Write down what is your why. What is the reasons that you're doing what you're doing? What is the reason that you want to build this business? What is the reason that you're going to be committed to, grinding until you reach that goal, whether it's 100K, 200K, 300K in a year? Write it down. I suggest creating like a note in your phone and then make it your screensaver. So all the time you could automatically be programming your subconscious that this is my why, this is why I do the things that I'm doing. So you can always make sure that you are on track. And last but not least, only speak what you want. No negative. Don't say stuff like I can't. To me, those are cuss words. Those are bad words to me. So if you say that you want a contract, you only speak, breathe, anything that says contract. I don't want to ever hear you talking about yourself. That's for other people to do, not for you. But I'm being serious. Only, yes. Catherine says, speak life. Yes, speak life. If no one else going to do it, at least you do it. And if people aren't doing it and they're speaking negativity, get away. You'll be surprised how much that crap come on over here to you. Um, Richard, you said, let me work on this, Richard. I got you. But yes, only speak and say what you want. Where's it at? Here it goes. Okay, let me look you up, Richard. Richard, I don't see you. Oh, wait, do I see you? Yes, I do see you. There it goes. Richard, give me 1 second. Let me move this around. Okay, Richard. Here, let me do that one more time because they be acting weird with the spaces. Okay, check your email, Richard. And look for school. SKOOL. You got it? Awesome. Welcome, welcome. Okay, if there's not any more questions, I'm gonna let everyone go. For everyone who got into the community, make sure that you keep in mind that our next call inside the Lab Academy is going to be the 29th of January. So this Thursday. Yeah, this Thursday. So if you want to make sure that you don't miss it, go right here and add yourself to the calendar. It'll automatically populate your time zone. So if you're on the East Coast, it's gonna say 7 o'clock to 8. But right now it's in my time zone, which is 4 p.m. So remember, it is at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. If you're Mountain and Central, that's going to be a 5 and 6 p.m. start time. But still, make sure that you go to the calendar and add yourself so you can make sure. I will send reminders. I will send an email and I also post it inside of the community. Um, Cody said tonight is last night. It will be no. So tonight it is 297 for the year. but I'm giving everyone who joined before midnight 197. Incorrect. After tonight, it's going to go back to 297, and even when I do a class next Sunday, it's going to be 297. So make sure you get in, because I'm telling you right now, that's a really good prices, because you can get a ticket to the 5-day challenge. My platinum to the challenge is 297 on one of the tickets. So yes, it is lifetime. I went back and forth if I was gonna make it lifetime or not, but it's a lot of work to kick people out after 12 months. So I'm just gonna make it lifetime. So yes, lifetime. Rod said, thank greatness, Leela. Thanks as always. You're welcome, Rod. You're welcome, Rod. Any other questions? If there's not any other questions, I'm going to get going. I haven't ate any food or dinner. I fasted today, so I am a little hungry. But if not, I will see the rest of everyone on Thursday. Welcome, and let's get on our business in 2026. Let's get to it. Get to it. Good night, everyone. God bless, and good night to you too, Kenneth. Catherine said you should get something to eat. Yeah, I'm about to go out to dinner. No cooking over here right now. Not tonight. You're welcome, everyone. Good night, and peace and blessings.